Alright, we're gonna do an impromptu sort of start here because I love OBS, but it makes me switch over to this scene to actually fix the front here. Interact, right, yeah. Ooh, that's new. Why would it ask for that? Hopefully I didn't just dox myself for the games channel. I don't think it did. Okay. But yeah, wow, that was a real bad voice crack, but yeah, the password full of stars, right? And it looks like the stream chat is also fucked up, so I'm gonna fix that. Well, I also said the F word at the beginning of the video, so that means I'm demonetized for this one. That's fine.
No.
Well,
I mean,
guess it's rice cakes for this month.
Alright, let's adjust this guy down. Why is it doing that? That's weird.
This is the perfect opportunity to censor himself with a funny sound effect this time around.
It does not work anymore. You have to like just mute the video temporarily to keep it monetized.
Wait, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Leaves are dead.
Why is it like half on this, whoops. This thing. Try again. There we go, now it's working. Make sure to close these out, make sure this tab is muted. There we go. And this should actually be fine if I just adjust it back up a little bit. There we go. Okay. I can be less OCD about it. And otherwise, I think we're actually good to go. Yep, here we are. So, hey guys, welcome back. Episode 19, Kobold Kingmaker. Just after Troll King Hargulka's demise, who wants to recount the tale of what actually occurred there?
I can do that.
Go right ahead.
So we'd entered the Troll Keep's, the Troll King's fortress, and we kind of like tried to lock off some barracks and stuff to make sure that we either couldn't get ambushed or that we wouldn't be doing any unnecessary killing. Kind of bypassed a tower of harpies, kind of ignored that. None of that's terribly important. But we continued to explore a little bit. We found a troll and a pair of hobgoblins up front, the ones that we would have met if we hadn't snuck in the back. Killed the troll, and Gaz convinced them to surrender by offering them gold. I sort of want to call it a bribery, but that almost sounds too low. Either way, they asked us to find their troop and recruit them as well. So we did. And I don't necessarily know how helpful they will be to us in the future, but maybe they'll be useful to potential kobolds or monster kingdom or something in the future. Who knows? We found a chamber in the north that was kind of a magical trap, sort of a religious shrine-looking thing that was meant to be for people offering up a dwarven prayer. Parenth figured that out, and we managed to do that and got through. Continued onward, we fought a two-headed troll who immediately declared his intent to take our heads and present them to his king. This kind of made us not so hesitant to attack. Finally, we got to fight somebody and feel good about it. That was great. And then at last, we found the Troll King and Tartuk, who appeared to be permanently a kobold with no memory before awakening in the forest, where he was discovered by no one else but the Troll King himself. The king was not receptive to discussion because we infiltrated, and battle was inevitable. We slew the king, but some clever thinking led to Tartuk being taken alive. He explained how, before being awakened by the Troll King, he had a dream of a green-skinned woman with green hair who wanted to form a united monster kingdom, the same dream shared by the Troll King. And this description reminded us a lot of that locket of hair that was possessed by the Stag Lord. Things are starting to connect in ways that are a little uncomfortable. I, Kiba, personally insisted on allowing Tartuk to live, and did my best to convince everybody of that. And in doing so, he will gather the kobolds from the woods that the Troll King was threatening, and bring them to the keep, where they can theoretically make a new start. Tartuk chose to trust in my beliefs for a peaceful future with them, and I insisted to everybody else that we need to try to trust him as well, because I believe that Tartuccio is dead.
Remains to be seen, the truth of the matter. But, with that being said, of course, take your extra hero point. And the rest of you, make sure that, I think everyone did their level up correctly. Yeah, we did that last time. So, with the Troll King dead, with Tartuk heading off, and you guys, some of you not trusting him, some of you doing so, what is your plan now? Deed is done.
I personally would think we should head home and leave Tartuk and his gaggle of kobolds to figure things out for themselves.
Yes, for the most part, I definitely agree. We will need to keep an eye on them, on the other hand. Although we have just the way to do that.
I'd rather just get home as soon as possible.
Of
Leave
course,
here.
we will do that.
Are you guys not at all curious as to that spot they had on that map?
Remind me about this spot on the map. That battle took a lot out of me.
You pull out your map.
Down in the Selin Hills, there was a marker.
Marker
Oh.
of a skull. Certainly not a friendly marker.
So there was.
It's probably worth investigating at some point, and checking the rest of the gnarl marches probably wouldn't be a bad idea either.
I am certainly open to this.
Well, lots of things open to. But you guys gonna head back to town first?
That would be best.
You
Oh,
are
okay.
rather- Wait.
Town is between here and the skull mark location, anyways.
Our castle is
Yeah.
not that far. I would not object to stopping at home first, before exploring.
So with that, your party, over the course of a day or two, making your way down to the rivers and the lakes here that make it easier to travel back to your home. At the confluence of all these many rivers, the Selin, the Shrike, the Thorn River, this one's Thorn, I think. And yeah, you make it back to Tuskwater, you make it back to Scaleport proper, and back into town. Things are bustling as they have been for quite some time. The people of your nation, your burgeoning nation, go about their business, day-to-day lives, with gusto, with somewhat of a pep in their step, realizing that they are part of something new, and you are all the leaders of that, with that great burden upon your backs, of course. Now, where is my kingdom hall? And apparently, I don't have vision with the interact. Do you guys have vision on the on the
We do
scene?
not have any tokens out here.
Very strange. Did that work for Gaz? Yes. So apparently your old tokens are evil.
Good.
Ah, yes.
I have vision actually.
Evil campaign time.
Yeah,
Ah,
I gave it
yes.
to you guys.
So Nyx is the evil one. I still cannot. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it was your tokens had changed alignment for some like it was a monster token rather than a party token for some reason.
Rawr, I'm a monster.
So
Well, we are looking to create this new kingdom of monster for everyone, right?
yeah. Now remind me, guys, did you you hired or did you pay off the hobgoblins just to leave, or did you intend to hire them for your kingdom's uses?
Well,
Let's not hire them.
We paid them off to leave, basically.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
guess whether it is as renegotiating the contract, but yeah.
Aha. So it remains to be seen whether or not we'll ever see them again.
Remains to be seen. But with you
The
guys
guy being paid to do nothing right now. How lucky of them.
With you guys returning to the keep, Kestingares is going about his business, but the first to actually approach you are, well, the two kobolds, curious
Perfect.
what has occurred. There you are. What happened? You look like you've had a journey.
I will say we are in quite high spirits.
It was rough, though. Things turned out well in the end, but it was a fight.
Ah, well. That's good. Very good indeed. That means we could go home now, Prazzle. Well, we could, yes, but I like their food here.
How would you like to live in a castle?
We would, well, if our tribe is no longer in danger, and we could be ambassadors of sorts to you between our tribe, perhaps that could be a good thing, yes. We are, of course, you know our skills, even though you've thwarted our skills, we could help you with matters of subterfuge.
Indeed. I think such things would be very useful, particularly since, well, I kind of hushed my voice a little bit. There will be a new kobold settlement where the Troll King's fortress used to be.
Ah, that's where you're... Oh, how do you know that? Did you speak to our kind?
We spoke to your, I'm not quite sure if I would call him leader at this time, but, let's just say that the Troll King is no more.
A gentleman who we've had history with in the past is currently rallying the kobolds and is going to found the settlement there of his own.
Ah, well, we are lacking of leadership, and if we aren't going to be there, he was always kinder to us than the rest of the trolls were. I'll give him that. So be it then.
Do you really believe that your tribe would accept him as a leader?
Well, we do follow those who have power, and those who demonstrate that they care for our people. Even if they are an outsider, should be fine enough.
I did
Well,
distinctly get the impression that this particular kobold was looking out for your tribe.
Let's hope it doesn't bite you in the back.
Well, let's hope not. I do hear what happened with your tribe, Yarmos. But, well, let's just hope that it's not too bad. Yours are a different tribe than ours, and yours did not lack a chieftain of a sort. Ours, unfortunately, does at the moment. Either way, we have, well, things to discuss, and settling in to do. And for the first time in a while, you guys feel like there is nothing pressing on your plates. That there is nothing that truly needs to be dealt with immediately with some tenacity.
There is still a matter that we'd ask those kobolds to try to look into while we're gone.
Ah. Remind me what that was?
The
Yeah, there's a
merchant.
certain merchant spewing lies.
Oh, yes. So, as they open the door, they are reminded themselves. Ah, yes, we do have news about the merchant. And as you all sort of filter in here. Alright, so, this man, his name is Grigori. He is a, well, we don't think he is, good for the kingdom. His wares are, well, middling at best. Seems like he didn't even come as prepared as what a merchant should. It doesn't all add up. We're pretty sure that he's here on some mission from an outside actor to spew lies, to rile up the populace, to cause trouble for you.
A firebrand, so to speak.
Well, there's the real firebrands, and those guys are out in Cheliax or someone, but, for our purposes, yes.
Any idea where he may have come from?
Well, judging by his demeanor and his size, we imagine he is, from Pitax.
That thought had crossed my mind.
That is a place of wanton desires and loud-mouthed people and parties and feasts all the time. He matches the description of one who had come from that place under the King Castruccio Iravetti.
Indeed, the Pitaxians are not... How shall I say this? They're not well beloved by my temple.
Considering how much trouble the Patacans have made us, I'm not too welcoming towards the Zeroveti either.
It seems that they are not welcoming you into these lands either. They are, well, not now on your direct border. That would be Hanastrelov between you and them. He has taken over Hooktongue. But, beyond Hooktongue, the lands to the west here, let me show you. Beyond Hooktongue, and then the lands that Hanastrelov has called himself, Drelev, is Rushlight, which is part of Pitax. Pitax being its own smaller region in that area, but it is all a part of their kingdom that's been there for quite some time. Part of mostly the river kingdoms. If you must know, Castruccio, let me start with Pitax not being a nation that was ruled by a king until Castruccio Iovetti came along. It was a few years ago, when the 3 merchant houses that ruled it were overthrown by Iovetti, and the circumstances behind which nobody really knows for certain. Other than well-placed words, corruption, people in power diverting their attention to Iovetti rather than the houses, whatever happened, well, it was a well-kept secret to keep him in charge. And the city itself of Pitax is on the confluence of the Pitaxian River here. I, however, doubt you will be invited into that kingdom, especially as foreign actors on land they may very well claim to be their own, now or in the future. So we should just deal with this one that's been sent along first. That's my opinion.
So what would
To
be the
that
most...
end, have either of you recovered any physical evidence that we could use to smooth this process over in the public's eyes?
Well, we have seen him write in a journal at the tavern, actually, sitting up in the upstairs part of it. Believe that's where you fought that werewolf, right?
Indeed.
We befriended
But with
the werewolf.
words.
Ah, with words, yes. Sorry, I'm thinking of different realities, but...
What?
You, do... It's just, Nethys gives me some glimpses of things and magic stuff, whatever. Yes. He lives upstairs in the, inn, the tavern, that you're familiar with the tavern keeper of. We haven't really been able to get in there, but perhaps you could infiltrate his room and acquire his journal. Perhaps that will be the evidence we need to put him on trial.
I don't think there'd be any issues at all with that, honestly. We have people that are good at that.
Don't you think it'll paint us in a bad light if the barons of the kingdom are found sneaking into some merchant's room in the inn?
I mean, I'm sure
We could
Jarmos
draft
won't be...
ourselves a warrant.
You could always do so and have Keston Gares send the guards to search it, but that would also have its own problems.
I'm sure Jarmos can take care of it himself. I believe in him.
By myself.
You just get in there really quick and get his book and then come back. Is that so hard?
Well, might I have at least a little bit of invisibility for that?
Of course. What do you think I am, an amateur?
Do we
Even-
really wish to be sneaking into inn rooms like this?
Well, you're certainly not.
It kind of sets a bad precedent.
Well, what sort of precedent do you want to set? Because either way, you would be bringing him to trial over words. The river kingdoms have the river freedoms, and one of them is very valuable to them, freedom of speech. Of course, that doesn't mean freedom from consequences, but still, it's expected of kingdoms in these lands to allow for such things.
Indeed.
We shouldn't give subjects a reason to hate us.
So we just let this man run wild with his mouth of his, flapping around town.
No.
Perhaps we can somehow expose him.
Yes, by getting his journal.
Perhaps once we know the truth, well, as it is, we currently believe him to be a Pitaxian agent. It's possible he's not. And as long as there is room for doubt, we have very little power. We do need that journal one way or the other. However, once we do have it, I think a little bit of spoken word can go a long way.
Remember when we tried to talk to him before and he called us all idiots, basically?
Oh, I wasn't referring to talking to him.
The Pitaxians are stubborn lots. I don't think words are gonna be able to do anything in this case.
Words can do plenty when they're coming from the right people. And you know who those people are?
Guards?
The townsfolk.
What, are you going to smear his name in return?
I wouldn't say smear. Simply let a rumor fly about his true identity. See what people think about that. People will talk.
We do have the right to freedom of speech, after all.
Will people truly believe in his words once there's also the word going about that he's an agent from Pitax? I think not.
Spreading rumors. To counter his own. Devious, I must say, coming from your mind, Keeper.
It's quite surprising, isn't it?
And why would that be?
I've seen you walk around ants instead of stepping on them.
Indeed, I wouldn't quite be stepping on this guy. That's the entire point.
Well, would you like us to attempt to do so? I know how to spread a rumor. Or would you like to do this yourselves?
We need to verify the contents of that journal first. That way, we know that we are in the right.
Very well. We'll take a sideline on this one and allow you to do it to yourselves. We would be a little bit more suspicious going to the tavern. We don't exactly drink. Well, I mean, you don't let me drink. Yes, that's because you get smashy when you do. But yes.
That's a good point.
That being said, anything else you guys have to figure out, or you heading out?
I don't know. This kind of social counterplay is above Giraffe's head.
Can always
You
be the
know-
muscle.
You know,
He would probably just punch the guy. Says, stop bad mouthing us unless you have actual proof.
you know, your wizards are an innovative lot, but to think you haven't come up with a spell that just allows you to read any book from a distance seems kind of odd.
I'm sure a spell like that exists, I just don't know it yet. Uh,
There are scrying spells, but they're usually a little bit fuzzy. You can't really read words. It's like looking through a fish eye lens or something like that.
scrying really isn't my specialty anyways. Well, not yet.
What we need to do is get him away from the inn, so that the contents of his room are unguarded.
Doesn't he spend most of his day at the inn to, spread his rumors?
Most of the time he is found within, either at the inn or outside of it. That's sort of the town's most populated area. And then
he'll retire upstairs to the, like, lobby area upstairs. He doesn't go into his room, and, you know, enjoys a little bit of sunlight, I guess. I don't know. Sits at the card tables. Then he goes to bed.
Perhaps we simply don't have to go to his room from inside the inn. Perhaps we can enter it from outside, if you get what I mean.
I think it would be less suspicious if we didn't open his window. Besides, I have some spells for this.
Fair enough.
Daylight's waning. We'll do some more research.
And if I were to get him away from the inn,
How do you plan to do that, Kiba?
Wouldn't the most simple option be to just invite him back here into our hall? He's followed the summons one time. He's surely gonna follow it another time.
So what? A one-on-one conversation with Kiba? He's gonna notice others are missing.
then
Well-
perhaps we split up.
Indeed. Would probably make sense for me to be alongside Kiba while the rest of you are about doing your own things.
Well, I need to go with Jarmos either way in case I need to apply spells again.
Giraffe can be your muscle in case things go south.
Just
That
remember,
works.
the best thing we can do is to read that journal and learn its contents. If it goes missing, that wouldn't look very good for us.
I'll stay at a distance then. Wouldn't want to wake anyone with all the armor I wear.
You can always provide a distraction with all the armor you wear.
So,
Good point.
to get us moving along a little bit, I'm going to move you guys over to the tavern. At the very least, as a sort of like getting together spot for this little operation. Ooh, looks like everything is not here anymore. I'll fix that. By the way, it's empty right now, but yes. Parent, a giraffe, guys, Kiba, and Yarmos. You find that the tavern, despite there not being any tokens, is bustling as usual. Actually, a little bit more as the town has grown for you guys. Move you guys also to some new music. The music's not here either. Oh, we'll just keep to this one then. So. NPCs, there we go. There's that guy. A few of the others. Now, you guys have gotten here about midday, not too bustling, but is there anything you guys, well, do midday here? You can get the sense that he's still out on the street, sort of all talk about, you know, this kingdom is, or this burgeoning kingdom is a, you know, just a proxy vassal of the Aldori, that, you know, it's not its own thing, you won't be able to protect them, all the sorts of nonsense. What is your course of action?
Well, Jarmos, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be. Also, shouldn't you make your, shouldn't the generous dragon, well, live up to its namesake?
I
Yes.
am very broke right now.
I can always give you a little stipend when you need it.
I am not borrowing money from you guys.
I'd be that way.
I'll owe 10,000 gold later. Or something.
I never said anything like that.
Okay, Jarmos, we should go upstairs.
No.
Okay.
If you guys go talk to the guy outside and keep him distracted or something.
All right. So,
Yes.
as the other two are headed upstairs, the rest of you go outside and start speaking to this Grigori. You've seen him before, and since I don't have outside this map, I'll just have him right here. That sort of like sneering, portly-ish man dresses himself quite, well, flamboyantly at the least.
Ah, some of the barons of this kingdom. What can I do for you on this fine day?
Grigori. Just the man I was hoping to find. I was hoping to pick your mind a little bit, get some of your insight as a merchant.
Insight as a merchant. From me, well, your flattery does do me some justice, but are you sure that you need my expertise? What can I offer you?
Oh, it's quite simple. I wanted to discuss, get your insight about potential trade goods. Things that might, help the kingdom a bit more. As you're well aware, we do have plenty of natural resources here.
Roll me a deception check. And the other two, are you guys doing anything here?
I have a couple spells I want to cast on Jarmos.
I mean the other two that are with
Oh,
Kiva,
no.
sorry.
His voice got worse since we last talked to him. Good grief.
I'm gonna stand next to Kiba, a silent presence.
The guy seems to have his own agenda, but he seems to let Kiba do his thing first.
Kiba good with the big words.
Well, I don't think that I need to offer you anything. In fact, you are interrupting my good work for the people of this town. If I must bid you good day. And for whatever it's worth, good luck with your kingdom.
Now, you have a critical eye and a sharp mind. I recognize this talent in you. I am very eager to hear everything you have to say. If you're truly here to aid our kingdom, then please allow us to join you for a meal.
Roll me deception one more time. Sort of sneers at you.
I think not. Your efforts to talk to me are not welcome. Ever since the last time we spoke, I'm truly well aware of your stance on my activities, on my truth to power, the words that I tell to your citizens that they need to hear, not just what you want them to hear. Now, if you will stop interrupting me, I will continue my work.
And he turns.
You believe that I don't think that we need to hear this as well.
Then hear it. I will be here.
And he begins to do his diatribe as the others are heading up the stairs here. So I'm going to move us over.
Jarmos, do you wish to be small as well?
I don't think I would be able to reach the handle if that was the case.
You would go under the door,
Oh, that small.
I think. How small
Uh,
does shrink make a person?
Shrink just puts you down one size to tiny.
Too tiny.
Tiny
Small
is
enough
not
to ride
enough
someone.
to go under a door.
Okay, second question. How many people are up here?
Nobody at this moment. Everyone's out working or something.
Alright, well,
And of course, we learned which room was his from our kobold friends.
That is
right?
right. Down at the other end, and that door there.
You can have invisibility at least.
Alright.
Parent reaches out a forelimb and kind of taps Charmless so he disappears.
Oh, multiple. Which door is it?
The last
Exactly.
one. Well, I
This
think
one?
there.
Oh, that one. Sorry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, may as well make sure he, just in case he forgot, Jarmus will just rattle the door, see if it's already open or not.
It is locked.
Alright. Good thing I would like to pick this lock.
Okay. As you are doing so, fiddling with the lock, going back downstairs to the other three, as Grigori continues, he sort of like cants his head for a moment. I almost feel as though I should return to my room.
If I may, perhaps you don't want to recommend us on matters of the kingdom, but a man of exquisite taste and wealth of yours can surely recommend us something for my own problem. You see, I've been thinking of celebrating our latest success of the kingdom with some festivities, and perhaps you could enlighten me on a selection of food and drink that we could import.
Roll a deception check. Giraffe, roll me a perception.
Perception?
Yes. And Yarmos, do your thievery.
Gotcha.
This is blind GM roll, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So, Yarmos, fiddling with the lock. Unfortunately, at the moment, well, you do look like you're over encumbered as well. That's going to cause flimsy on you.
My poisons. Yeah, I'm supposed to like apply these at the start of every day, so I'm in an uncomfortable position where with all of my stuff on me, I am encumbered, but I'm supposed to like apply it beforehand, and I won't be encumbered in that case.
Mm-hmm. For the purpose of it, just throw your alchemist tools in your backpack. That should do it.
No, I just reduced the poisons that I would have applied this morning.
Okay. So
Down to the number I had now.
You, for the moment, are having trouble with the lock as Parent is watching out. Giraffe, you notice as they canted their head, like it was almost like too sudden, as if something triggered in their mind at that moment to make them decide they wanted to return upstairs. Gaz, he sort of scoffs at you. You don't really do your flattery well. In Pitax, flattery is a weak strategy. Everyone is being flattered all the time. Now, good day. I'm returning to my room.
You're Pitaxian.
Yes, I think my garb tells as such. Why? Are Pitaxians not allowed here?
Oh, of course Pitaxians are allowed here. My goodness. I've always admired the
That
sheer
is
amount of
enough.
art that comes from Pitax.
He starts walking through the door. You guys are not doing well on these deception checks over
No,
Gaz's.
no, we're not.
Yeah. And he's also quite good at this stuff. So, for the purposes of it, Yarmus, one more thievery check, as you do hear the conversation
Wonderful.
sort of like a little bit more shouty downstairs. I have had enough of
Yeah,
your
I'm not
flatteries.
staying quiet.
I am going to go ahead and reroll this with a hero point.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is going to be a failure as well. As you are trying to fiddle with the lock here,
So, just to verify, we're hearing him coming in, basically.
Yes.
Voices raised. Parenth is going to cast invisibility on himself after draining his bonded item as well.
okay. So as you do so, both of you invisible up here, you start to see, appearing up the stairs, the rest of the party and Grigori. So, let me...
He was just
check if
blabbermouthing away.
I must insist that your constant flatteries and Just get off my back.
This has nothing to do with flattery, I assure you. I truly am interested in the welfare of my nation, and I do believe that we could potentially become great allies.
Parenth and Yarmus, I need a stealth check.
Does
goodness.
does invisibility give any sort of bonus to this whatsoever?
Yes, because it allows you to stealth where you're standing there.
Very good bonus.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he can still hear you as an imprecise sense.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Stealth has to be blind, so I'll allow you to reroll just because it would need to be anyway. But
Okay, in
you
that
rolled
case.
blind. Because you can't tell if you were good at your stealth or not. One of the good things about the system, I do believe. Oh man, guys. Okay. So, immediately he sort of stops.
Oh boy.
What is that shuffling I hear? Why was
What
my
shuffling?
alarm raised? What are you doing to try to distract me? What is this all about? Reveal yourselves.
What
I'm
are you
not a
talking
fool.
about?
I'm confused. You've been acting weird. You've not acted like this before when we talked to you before. Is something bothering you? Something on your mind?
Wait,
Is that supposed to be intimidating, Giraffe, or what are you trying to
I'm
do?
not sure. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to say something so blunt it just captures his attention.
Sure, roll me an
is it
intimidation.
intimidating or is it giraffe?
Yeah, it's intimidating.
We're
What's
not
the
quite sure
difference?
if he's trying to threaten you or not.
This
Blind,
is my
I
neutral
assume?
resting voice. I swear.
Just in case. This was a nat 20. I'll be so amused.
You guys are not rolling well on any of these.
It's not a nat 20.
Stealths are all below DC, like 3s, 4s, at least a 10 on Giraffe.
I know you're here.
Sort of starts approaching Parenth, feeling around with his hands. Anything you do, Parenth?
Parenth is gonna try to like move to the other side of the hall.
Acrobatics check. So trying to skid away and around his hands.
It's terrible.
Oh my
my
god,
God.
guys. Okay.
Okay,
On Earth.
okay, hold on. I'm gonna use the hero point.
Okay. A better roll. That being said, with that. Okay. You skid out of the way for a moment.
I know you are here. You could just reveal yourselves now and save yourself the trouble.
If there is somebody in your room, we need to look now, don't we?
I am no...
Roll me a deception check.
Good.
We are very good at this stealth and intrigue thing.
I'm really good at this. I'm just doing so bad.
It's just amazing that we like come back to this immediately after infiltrating a keep.
My score is really high, I promise. I mean, no, it's not.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps somebody's already inside.
Sim takes out his key from his pocket, opens up the door.
Do you want me to stand in front? Are you okay?
I am perfectly fine. I have magical skills myself. And why would that alarm be tripped?
I would imagine somebody tried to break in, but failed.
Yes, they failed spectacularly. Nothing seems to be out of place.
Of character, since this seems like it could have ramifications for the whole party. Yay or nay for Yarmo's trying to sneak in behind him right now.
No?
We'll have to
Yeah.
figure out a way to extract Yarmus
I don't
out.
know.
of it, just like,
I don't know. I don't
will,
see you.
I will say
He'd
yay.
come up and whisper. You know, Yarmos can like sort of skid up to Kiba and whisper his plan.
surely we'll get a high roll this time, right? You know, it's just shaking off all the bad rolls.
Yeah, if you want to. It's up to you. You guys are trying to do this. You're trying to make it work.
Do it.
Go for it.
All right.
Action is
He
better
doesn't
than
appear to be
inaction.
stopping you. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm much likely to do that. Yeah.
All right. As he turns around, he sort of hears a creak in the wood.
No, there's someone here. I know it.
Stealth is just not a good roll there. It is very, very
Nah.
unfortunate, these
See?
rolls.
I'm gonna cry.
And now I know something's going on. If you will not reveal yourselves, and I will try to force you to.
They cast a spell. And as they begin to ensorcel where they think Yarmos is, they're going to roll a DC 11 flat check. Well,
Of course,
Yarmos.
Wow.
it's an 11.
Now I suggest whoever is here, reveal yourselves now.
I need a will save.
All right.
Please succeed.
How high is your will modifier, Kiba?
My
Your will
Plus
save
11.
modifier. Plus
11?
11? What about you, Giraffe?
Plus 11. Plus 11 on everyone.
What? Wait, really?
Plus
Huh.
11.
Okay. This is one instance where this is completely useless.
Okay.
That's 12, but he's invisible, so.
Oh, my will save plus 11. Yeah.
Unfortunately, with a 21 against him, he's actually a pretty good spellcaster, it seems. So his voice seems to thrum with the essence of the spell. He's usually a bard himself. You find yourself just moving and acting under his suggestion to cancel the spell.
I knew
Is that something
it.
I can dismiss?
Yes, dismiss the spell is the thing. And he just
Yeah, but like, I'm not the source of the spell.
he asked you to reveal yourself.
Okay.
So invisibility
You're
can
almost-
drop if you like punch a, you know what I mean. Like you can cause
yeah,
yourself
punch
to
the
not
wall.
be invisible.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that being said,
I knew something was occurring here, and it was you all along as well. Oh, wait until the townspeople hear of this. You trying to steal into my room. What do you have to say for yourselves?
A
Yeah,
lot
most
more.
suggest-
It is not what you were thinking. We have been having an issue lately with thieves in the area, and we are trying to put a stop to it.
every lie on top of the another lie increase the DC by a
Every
lot.
single one.
How many times can one person double down?
I mean, you can keep doubling down. The
20.
DC will keep going higher.
For some reason, I don't believe you. You've not had bandits. You are not interested in my merchant craft. You are not trying to do anything that you are saying you are trying to do. You have lied to me this entire time, and I found your ally red-handed trying to steal into my room.
My hands are black, actually.
You know the expression. Now, if you will excuse me, I will make sure that the townspeople of this village know of your endeavors.
Hold on.
He starts pushing past you guys. Giraffe,
I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder.
roll me an athletics check.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess we are taking this threat after all.
Oh no, I'm not gonna fight him.
You get your hand off of me.
When Yarm appeared, he wasn't even in the room.
He was
For all you know,
attempting
he was just watching.
to get inside.
Look, I'm just gonna ask this once. Stop extrapolating every little negative thing. You are not being honest as you claim. You are nitpicking any possible negative just for a show. All you seem to want is attention and money. We are trying to start a kingdom. And I don't want bad blood between us. But that is the pot you are stirring. Are we clear?
Roll an intimidation check.
Blind?
Public for this. Only blind stuff is deception, stealth, stuff that's like,
I'm gonna hero point that.
sure.
We are just having the rules of our life.
And now you deal in threats.
I'm just making my position clear. And
It
I
has
let
been
him
made
go.
clear, but it will not be cowed by the voice of a bully and a thug. Out of my way.
Quite simply, he was simply trying to get your attention because you're blindly ignoring the fact that people around here know what Pitax is up to. They know that your people are trying to expand into our land.
Perhaps.
How long do you think people are going to listen
Castruccio.
to rumors and slander from an openly Pitaxian merchant?
Openly Pitaxian. Is that something that is wrong here? I will ask again.
You are allowed to be Pitaxian. But the fact is, the fact that you are spreading all of this slander with absolutely nothing to back it up, well, that doesn't look good for you.
Your actions today and that of your allies convinces me not to listen to a word you have to say. I will continue to spread the good word to the people of this town, to tell them that you are weak rulers, as has been made evidence to me today and is more evidence that I will spread. Now, if you want to do things harshly, we can. We can see how that goes. But I am well aware of your attempts to enter my room.
And you see under his cloak, his journal, sort of he's stuffing it away. He picked it up when he was in there.
Send your guards. Prove that this nation of yours is not following the River Freedoms or anything of the sort.
As he sort of mumbles to himself downstairs, self-righteously. You guys are fairly convinced that he's just gotten more fuel for the fire and he's excited to use it.
Indeed.
It took a lot not to stab him there. I hope you appreciate my restraint.
I hated dealing with the Pitaxians back in Numeria, and I still hate dealing with the Pitaxians now. How can a nation be just completely made up of pricks?
One led by cacti? I don't know.
So what's the plan? You start hearing his sort of words about how there's no rule of law, how it's being trounced upon. All of these words continue to be spread throughout the kingdom, or at least throughout the town square here. What do you guys do from here?
We should let the kobolds handle this. We're kind of incompetent at this kind of thing.
We could
Yeah.
try we could try holding a seminar on finding out what's just malignant rumor and what's actually fact. Maybe that'll help people from stopping believing him.
Well, the
make a
journal's out of
fool
the question
him.
now because he's most likely going to remove the evidence from, well, you know.
We could just take care of him while he sleeps.
I wish.
Isn't that a step too far?
But that feels dishonest.
Stabbing Ray's
Will
light
only
of truth
prove
will
him right.
illuminate his dark secrets eventually.
I forgot
You
that
must simply have faith.
you're a Sarene worshipper now.
Why don't we try what always works with negotiations? Get him drunk, get him all butted up, and maybe once he's in a more agreeable state of mind, he'll he'll slip up. Maybe let us get a peek at the journal regardless.
I'm going
should
back to my original
reveal
plan.
The corruption.
I am going to be honest here. He's never going to interact with us again without extreme paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. That's why I'm doing what I just said.
What are you doing, Kiva?
Well, great.
I am. I'm going to spend time, just sort of, as I have, sort of downtime within the tavern or within the town. I'll gradually let it slip about how Pitax does seem to be eyeing other lands for expansion, and making claims along the kind of line, just to kind of get it active in the people's minds that somebody who's practically an agent of Pitax very likely has extremely ulterior motives.
Okay.
Gas is also gonna try and like set a scheme of his own into motion as he is going to approach the barkeep.
Alrighty. Kiba, roll me a diplomacy check for yours. Gas?
So you've already probably seen our guest of honor here. Does he order drinks from you by any chance?
Yes, he orders this imported wine from Pitax.
Excellent. Would it be possible for you to spike the stuff to make it have a big punch?
I'm not sure that would be appropriate. You are asking me to change his drink without his knowledge.
It's a gift from us. A welcoming gift, you know?
Roll.
Parenth is going to bite Gaz.
That's a terrible idea. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's it.
Gas.
Please ignore everything my friend here has said.
Yes, I will ignore it. I don't like the man, but perhaps I couldn't forgive myself for doing something. If you ordered me to, I would, but I wouldn't do it under my own conscience.
Just ignore him. You didn't hear anything, okay?
I understand.
Gaz just shrugs and goes back to regroup with everyone else.
Okay. Kiba, your counter rumors spread like wildfire, actually. Doing so well that it seems to at least cover up these accusations against you. Seems like people don't know what to believe, but there's enough out there that's maybe convincing enough that people can't take one side or the other. So you've at least countered it over the course of a day as those rumors, of course, spread.
Yeah.
Gets later into the evening. Do you guys hang around in the tavern, or what do you do after, well, this attempt?
Yeah, Parenth will stay here for a while just to kind of hear what's being said back and forth among people. Kind of get a better ear for reactions.
Perception?
What are the odds that he gets spotted by, the tavern goers and, have to live up to his name?
And Kiba certainly wouldn't mind spending a little bit of his I guess, time off doing a little performing, playing the lute and stuff.
Sure. So, while you guys are doing so, Parent, roll me a perception, Keeper, roll your performance. This is sort of later in the day. Oops, I don't know how initiative started there.
That was... I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
You want to do performance, public or blind?
Public. The only thing that should be blind is perception, deception, stealth. Sort of like
So?
the hidden stuff. You're doing something out in the open, performance doesn't do very well. However, Parent, as you listen around for the rumors, you have to slide a few coins here and there just to live up to your namesake in this tavern called Bayou. You do get the sense that people aren't sure what to believe. he didn't make any ground, even though he might have fuel for the fire. But you guys didn't make any ground against him. So maybe, for now, this is something you guys can't deal with while it's so hot.
Maybe we should have the kobolds help us with this after all. Later.
I'm certainly open to both approaches they suggest. I'm sure he could deserve a little kneecapping at this point.
So one way or another, I want to embarrass that man and expose the corruption he really represents.
Alright, let's move back to the Kingdom Hall. As, after a long day of trying to sort of like rumor monger and do all of that, another day ends on the calendar.
Wait, has this man been paying his taxes?
Merchant taxes, at the very least.
If he hasn't, we could have gotten him for tax evasion.
Yeah, you look up the tax files in the place here. Jubilost has them all, just all ready for you.
I mean, he comes from a
Can we
place
make it
called-
canon that despite being stupid in a lot of areas, Giraffe at least knows how to file taxes? Like, that's one knowledge skill he's good at.
I
Well,
love it.
Didn't particularly think that you did have this skill, but yes, here.
Sorry. It's
there's
absurd.
there's a taxes lore you could like dive into.
Taxes lore!
Yeah.
We had the perfect person right here to ask all along on how we can do this. Jubilost, how can we ruin a merchant?
Well, there are many ways to ruin a merchant. I've even written a book about it. But if you really want to get after this man,
You
I've
should read this book. And go on.
found his efforts very distasteful. I'm a man of the world. He acts like a man of the world. I know a charlatan when I see one, but I can see about helping you. Yes, you are on the right track. Money is where, well, you go after a merchant. It's in their pockets, of course. I could, as you've come to me from time to process some hidden fees here and there, we could perhaps levy a tax specifically to his quote-unquote goods that is egregious. One that would drive him out of town. We could just claim that he did not pay his taxes, and we would be signing them into law. Rightfully so.
Are there any other merchants from Pitax here at this moment?
As far as I know, no, there are not. Though I would not advise going and placing a specific tax on Pitaxian merchants. Though you could place an embargo, or yes, a specific tax on their merchants, it might be a little bit too obvious.
Heavy-handed.
Inflammatory.
Indeed.
Now, I have heard that this man deals in fur trading. Unfortunately, there are other merchants around that have fur trading businesses, though we can perhaps negotiate something with them. Say that there's a particular thing here or there, something we could work out where it would only really impact himself.
We could make it so that local residents, or at least the closer you live, the less severe the tax.
Ah, yes.
But that would also
Perhaps.
discourage trade from others.
It would be.
We don't need to
sort
have
of-
this down for long, just long enough to have our merchant foe.
Wouldn't that basically
Skittle
reveal
off.
immediately that we only did it to drive him out?
But it
It
is
would.
true.
Where
It
we
is
get around?
not specific to Pitax, but there are no fur traders that specifically come to us to trade furs with us. We are mainly an exporter of those furs. To bring them here is a stupid decision by any merchant's standards, since the supply is so great. He probably doesn't make any money on it anyway. So if you levied an import tax just on fur specifically, then it wouldn't raise as many eyes as levying one on Pitaxian merchants.
It'd probably encourage our own fur traders to locally source their fur anyway.
That it would.
So it's
No, it's
good
only help
for
with the monster
business.
problem.
I'm actually a proponent of import taxes of all sorts. They do protect your own industries without, other nations deluging you with supply. and reducing our income from those industries that we rely upon. Anyway, I'll get into the details afterwards, but I can start drafting this law. This new tax, specifically for this Pitaxian. Yes, there are many, slanderous things you could say about P-tax, pay-tax. Haha, yes. Anyway, he's going to pay his taxes, and I will take great joy in this endeavor.
I like the sound of this plan.
Taking him apart piece by piece sounds easier than just getting rid of him.
Let's put it to vote.
For as much as I want to stab him, taxing him away would be better. So I'm for taxing.
By all means, Jubilee's strategy is just genius. It encourages our own economy while starving him out of his own, well, means of staying. It's just a win-win situation.
Well, if your
Better guess
friend,
from you.
who is surprisingly still interested in this taxing, didn't bring it to me, I would not have actually come up with it, so points to you. Now, let me see if I can draft this up. It shouldn't be taking too long here.
This isn't deceptive, is it? Not that I would try to skirt around anything. Of course.
Would anybody like to give him a hero point?
I have none left. I've used it.
Gaz will donate his hero points.
Oh wait, it's in an hour.
Mm-hmm. Alright,
Oh,
Gaz
okay.
donates his
Okay.
hit.
We really need them right today.
You give him some guidance, Gaz, your own sort of like, you have good ideas about mercantile business and mining and stuff like that, so you have some ideas there to give him. Yes, I understand. Cool. Now, here, just sign on this dotted line, we'll sign it into law, and we will announce it as soon as possible. I can have the town criers relay it.
By all means, the sooner he's away from this place, the better.
Very well. Expect
And I
it,
sign- yep.
expect a day or so for this to really percolate towards him. I'm sure he will be unhappy with it, but there's nothing he can do about it. And self-assured Jubilas does seem to leave, and yeah.
Surely this can't come back to bite us, right?
Oh, it could. We'll have to be wary.
Unless we suddenly start importing furs for some reason, I don't think it will.
What's gonna stop him from just moving to one of our fur traders?
Can you elaborate?
What do you mean?
What if he just starts buying from our traders instead of his own?
He's selling fur here. He's importing them.
Oh, understand. Thank you.
And literally nobody else is going to import fur because you guys have plenty of fur to sell. You're colonizing an area that's not been...
So much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a very real possibility that he just stops trading fur entirely and just sits here doing nothing except spread his rumors.
On that note, guys, I'm a little out of money.
Oh, now you want me to lend you money?
No, we need to deal with the things we brought back from the keep.
Huh?
Yeah.
You want me to use my little business acumen to get us a good deal, huh? Should be easy enough.
Sell the treasure items that you had in the party inventory there. It's actually a good bit of gold, actually.
Were we gonna do? Were you gonna do something with that thundering morning star that we had, or?
I don't think we had any plans for that. No.
I meant, I think Cobra was talking last time about changing.
Yes.
About how it worked.
I've been very busy trying to get my map project out. I completely forgot.
Ah, gotcha.
So, keep it around for a moment.
I do notice that it's worth a lot of money.
True. It'll say the same amount of money. And, you know. But yeah. Chuck's...
I know how we'll be able to get agree to negotiate with us. One of us just has to drink the serum of sex shift.
Thank you for volunteering, Gaz.
No need. Kobolds can do that naturally.
Not in Pathfinder, I don't think.
Oh, not in Pathfinder?
In
Bummer.
D&D, yeah, but not Pathfinder. Though I've never seen a female kobold ever in like the video game here, so I don't know if they exist. It's just like, anyway.
They're cryptid.
It's like,
Uh,
it's like the elusive lady dwarf.
Yeah. So, throw anything you want to sell in the party inventory, as you like. Or the sale box, I should say. And
Say reply. Good to get rid of these swords.
yeah, don't worry about
Yeah.
like trying to discuss it between you guys. Whatever you think should be sold, just throw it over there, and then anybody who wants to keep something takes it out of the sale box. That's a much easier way.
What
To
does
do this.
thundering mean?
Thundering is an extra d6 of sonic damage, and if you crit, they can go deaf.
Ooh, that's cool.
Eardrum
Um,
rupturing
Would
maze.
somebody like to take that rune off of that before we sell it?
It would reduce the value of it by 500 gold pieces.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the Darkwood Morningstar, does it do something special otherwise?
So-
It makes it so valuable?
So, Darkwood is supposed to make it lighter. Right? It's a large weapon. It's an oversized, quote-unquote, weapon, even though it is not oversized in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. In 1st Edition there is, and this weapon, basically, it would be like you are a giant instinct barbarian wielding this. So you'd be permanently clumsy, but it would deal 2d6 plus that 1d6 of thundering damage. And have shove as well, as like a great club.
Gotcha.
So basically, big, clumsy weapon, a lot of damage. But I'm not sure any of you is that style, so yeah, you can probably sell it.
So I'll probably take the Thundering Rune off, then sell the club itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me remove that Thundering Rune. The removal of the Thundering Rune, the transfer of it, costs 50 gold pieces because 10% of its usual 500.
That's what, 5 platinum? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm willing to cover that since, I'm gonna be honest, I do want the thundering rune.
Nice.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I'm
parents
also
can-
gonna use the opportunity to attune to the bracelet of dashing that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Parents can do any of the rune transferring himself.
I am paying for the rune transfer with 5 platinum.
Yeah, you still have to pay for it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, Giraffe does that. And yeah, you can just go into one of your weapons, Giraffe, and change its property rune to Thundering. You cannot do it on the Bloodthirst, however, because Bloodthirst is a
Oh, that's
unique
fine.
weapon.
I did on my Mombele.
Okay.
It's gonna deal so much damage on a crit.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that there's a +1 striking flaming cold iron bastard sword in here.
That's awkward. That's mine.
Yeah. I had that at the end of the last session, so I put it back in the party inventory.
Is it in your inventory,
Oh.
Kiva?
So what happened is one of you picked it up
Oh.
because Kiba didn't have it. That would be why you didn't have it, Kiba. So we'll just delete
I-
one of these.
Just delete the one that's in the inventory.
Okay.
I was like, oh, where's my sword in my inventory? So I like recreated it.
Mm. Yeah, you handed it over to him in the fight. But
Well, he was a bit too indisposed
That's
for that.
right. I like kind of died, but not really.
I think I'm good then at this point. I want to keep all the other like miscellaneous magic items.
okay.
I just realized, can you aid in hitting someone if the target is unconscious? Because I just realized like they're not fight with Hargolka.
What do you mean? Like the
Like,
person?
Hargolka was like downed but not dead because of his regeneration, and we needed to hit him with a fire sword. Would Yarmus have been able to aid a strike from Giraffe for that?
Why not?
Because I was under the impression that the flavor of aiding a strike is like providing suppressing shot or like a distraction or whatnot.
You're
Distract of your own.
it's doing something to help. It's very open-ended. It's
Yeah.
just you do something, give them +1. It
Gotcha.
doesn't matter what
Okay.
condition the other person's in. But yeah,
Understand.
looking at the sale box here, are you guys good on the sale box?
I think so.
Okay. I
Yes.
will sell this stuff off. I'll calculate the half price of all this. So 755 divided by 2 is 377 gold added to the party inventory, and I will distribute that. Alright, that is done, and then distribute. Alright, there you guys go. Each of you gets about 200 gold pieces from all that.
So
Sweet.
cool.
And I had meant to get those shops up for you guys. Here we go. Just as reference for, like, you know, smaller items and such, like potions, runes, and such. Otherwise, you can buy things up to 5th level to match your kingdom's level. Actually, you guys okay with if we do a 5-minute break here? So you guys are doing this.
Sure.
And,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
okay. All right,
We're
we'll be
about
back
halfway.
on the stream in 5 minutes. See you guys back here. Alright, we're back. Oh wait, there's my other music.
Your armor is now just where your armor says color is now black.
No, nice. You have to change the art for it.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of it, if you guys are done shopping and such, move your tokens to the outside here. Basically, through the doors, of course. And that'll signify to me that you are done shopping and we can move on.
So I'm putting an armor potency +1 onto my character's armor, and it's not increasing the AC.
Let's see what your modifiers are. You have empowered scales. Those give you a +1 item bonus to armor already.
Ah.
Oh, wait. Let me see here. You didn't press the gem icon. Does empowered scales really give you a stacking item bonus? No, that shouldn't. Yeah, okay, so empowered scales gives you a +1 item bonus to AC already. And the rune, it's, wait. How they put these scales in is weird. That shouldn't be the case. It just should be a basic armor. It shouldn't be a +1 item bonus to AC. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, your AC should be correct now.
Okay. So, Parents will do that. And he,
Yep.
like, etches runes onto his scales. It looks painful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, move your token outside to signify that you're done shopping.
I might buy some more scrolls later, but I kind of figured that will be an after-session thing, if that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that will take time.
Not even at level 10 yet, I'm already like starting to forget the things I actually have and the actions I could do.
Yep. Why do you think I didn't want to do free archetype anymore?
Yeah. This would have been very helpful.
No, yeah. So it's just leaves you keeper.
Yep.
The way the scales were programmed, it was a 1 AC bonus with a dex modifier of 4. So it wasn't like a +1 item bonus, it was just an AC bonus.
Yeah, it says +1 item bonus in it, and it mechanically shows it in your AC modifiers. If you open up like what it says for your AC modifiers, there's a little button for it.
Are we allowed to wear multiple eyepiece equipment?
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Whatever has a... The only thing you can wear multiple of is rings.
Gotcha.
So, as you guys head out of town, actually you do head out of town to buy some of these armor potencies and such because they're a little bit higher level, resiliency and such. And while you guys are out of town, up in Resta, buying some things and making your way back to Tuskwater, or the Scaleport rather. It's about 2 weeks. Travel up there and travel back. Gonna do that on your calendar real quick. There we go. Middle of the summer, Eridus 4711 AR, the 17th of the month. It is a sweltering day, and it gets a little bit more dour. As you're trudging over the hills here, you see a few people seemingly in a hurry away from town. One of them sort of like looks over. My lords, something's happened while you're away.
What is
What
it?
is it?
Well, sort of like looks down at the wound, seems like a little splinter in his side. Something attacked us. I don't know what it was. I have to get to my family. He rushes off.
Wait, are you hurt? I could help you.
They rush off. They didn't seem too bad.
Bye.
Okay, we gotta go to the town and see what's going on. You can tend to the people there.
Of course.
And now, as you guys are getting closer to town, wondering what may have happened, I want you guys to go into the kingdom management sheet. And I want somebody to roll your defense skill for me.
Uh-oh.
Forgot how to get to that. Oh, it's
Actually going to upgrade the level of the town up to 5 just because, yeah, it should be there when we do the sort of thing. Anyway,
Okay, I can roll it.
go for it. As it feels like something bad has happened, you start to see plumes of smoke rising. But because your warden, which I believe is Giraffe, actually.
Yeah.
Giraffe, you've worked well with Kestingares and the town guard, and with some rangers in the town that you've hired on to defend it against any threats. You've been the one that's most on this, and you are pretty self-assured that things are going to be at least okay, whatever this was. So with that roll, we'll keep that in mind as you guys continue down the road and over one hill that leads finally to a vision of the town here. And looking down, it does seem like something rampaged through the town. There are wooden beams that have fallen from a half-constructed building. There are people sort of rushing through the street. You see a couple of guards sort of trying to usher people around. A lot of people heading towards the keep, your castle. Others, of course, rushing by you to get out of town. I don't know what that thing was. It was horrible. It was so big. Did you hear it screech? As people are rumor-mongering to each other. Well, at this point, where do you go first in town as you're rushing back to it?
town square to assess the damage.
Okay. Straight to the town square. Rushing past people, maybe offering some quick heal to one or another who has suffered a worse wound than most. You find that... Let me see real quick. Just based on your check, I want to check on this. Okay. You find that Kestingares is out here with a contingent of guards. You, get over there. No. Back over... No. We want that house to be helped, and first, because you see it's sagging, get them out of there. As he's sort of trying to organize people, you have a flashback almost to the attack at the Eldori Manor, where he was doing the same thing, organizing people, getting people into position, and he sort of nods. My lords, so glad of you to return. We've been attacked.
Any information you have?
I'll meet you outside here, town square. Yes, as Tristian and Jod Kavkin are sort of healing to people's wounds, Jubilas seems to be sort of like using his alchemical skills to formulate some stuff. Karik and Prazel are here as well. You hear Kestin sort of nod, or hear him nod. I must inform you, we've been attacked by some sort of beast, some great beast. They're calling it the Beast of Scaleport now. Massive feathered thing. Large beak. I think that was an owlbear, but I've never seen something that big. An owlbear that big, at the least.
We've encountered an owlbear before, but I hope that's not related at all to this.
Well, it wasn't flying or anything, was it?
Well, we didn't see it fly.
No, it wasn't
Well,
flying. It was...
Yeah.
It was almost as tall as the tavern, as it rushed by the buildings here in this rampage I've never seen the likes of. Jod, do you know why a beast would just come into town like that, rampaging about? As Jod sort of nods, sort of the sunken eyes and tiredness from using all of his priestly energies to heal. No, I really don't know why it would do that. Erastil be praised that not many people were hurt. He turns back to Kestin. Yes, thanks to your efforts, at least in the defense of our nation, we were able to waylay the beast before it could do too much damage to any of the buildings or the people. Nobody has been, killed by the creature. There are those that have been seriously hurt by it. Some may live with those wounds for the rest of their lives. But no lives lost, at the very least.
Well, I'm very thankful that nobody died from this. And thank you for dealing with everything while we were gone. The timing was strange to attack immediately after we left, almost.
Well, you are out of town.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Unfortunately, you cannot be here all the time with all of the things that you are doing, and, well, I'm going to ask you to go out again. After that beast, the people are going to demand its, well, vengeance against it.
That's
course.
certainly the plan.
We
Have
should
in
just.
mind.
If something attacks our town, we should destroy it.
Well, being
There's-
as... Sorry, good.
No one's seen hide or hair of this thing before it's attacked, did they?
Sorry,
Very
Sid.
odd for something. Nobody's seen hide or hair of this thing before it attacked, did they?
Nobody
No
has
reports
reported such
from
a
scouts?
massive beast in anywhere in our claimed lands. Further than that, we only have rumors of not poachers, but hunters, others. Nobody's even said a word of a creature 2-story tall owlbear.
A beast like that wouldn't normally run through a city like this. It was set upon us by somebody.
As Creek rushes up, well, we were, after I finished burning its tail a little bit, I was able to see where it went, at least into the forest. Trees fell in its wake, so it couldn't be too hard to find it, to search after it.
Well, where did it go? Did it go into the Gnarl Marches, or?
No, southeast, actually, into the Selin Hills, I think.
Of course.
Oh, a coincidence.
We'll stay here and make sure everyone's alright, and make sure nobody starts looting, taking advantage of the situation. And we'll do our job.
You did well. Thank you very much.
Do make haste before the creature can, well, heal itself after those wounds we gave it. Stuck many crossbow bolts, and yes, that kobold burned his hide, but didn't seem too weak, just annoyed and rushed off at that.
I feel sorry for the beast that we must put down, but this may be an opportunity to learn more about our enemy.
Indeed.
Safe hunting. Now, you over there, fetch us a bucket of water. I need this. And he sort of like rushes off, does more of his directing. Even
Can't
Now that
more.
I
help
have my
but think how this
Yes.
coincides with our recent policy change.
I suspect it may not be related at all.
That
It could
seems
be.
more like a coincidence. Though I'll be honest, I did not have monster hunting on the itinerary for today.
I point to this spot on the map that we marked with a skull and say that this has nothing to do with Pitax.
They are able to direct you at least into this hex, southeast, from their endeavors to track it, but from there, well, it left a large trail of destruction. If any of you is at least skilled in survival, you should be able to do something to track it further.
Might
I
you also
got
recall
this.
knowledge about it ahead of time from just the description?
Sure, that'd be a nature check.
Gotcha.
Roll in survival to track it.
Sure. You guys rolled today. Okay.
Oh,
Ah.
I need multiple rolls
Can
for
I
survival.
hero point it?
I'll
Or do you
allow
just
it
want the one
because
person?
these need to stop.
Ah.
So is that a yes or a no?
Yes, yeah.
Incoming.
Some terrible, terrible rolls today.
you know what? I'll just unprepare
Remove
my
the hero
poisons
point and
regardless.
roll again.
Okay. So, Giraffe, you turn a natural 1 naturally into a natural 20.
Woo! That's the only one I'll get this
Woo.
session.
Jeez, okay. As you're able to pick up on its trail, like, after you had been following, like false trail for some time, you're like, wait a minute, why am I not following the fallen trees? You know, this should be easy. So you are able to follow that it is continuing to go southeast here. And in this region, I will need one more survival check
Oh no.
to continue to track it. To see
Let's
if
go.
Well, your suspicions are right. And, well, you are, good enough to follow. Yeah, your suspicions are right. As you guys hustle your way down in this direction over the course of the entire day, turns to near dusks as you reach what would be this place on the map that was marked as dangerous to the trolls.
I wonder what trolls fear. Other than fire, of course.
Giant owl bears are 2 stories tall.
Nom, nom, nom.
As you guys find yourselves here, there is a dark, gaping hole that yawns in the side of a large rocky hillock here. The earth in front of the cave, as you followed this trail of destruction, is trampled flat, and shattered trees and stumps bear the marks of powerful claws all around the entryway to this cave here. You also see tufts of dark fur and feathers littering the ground. I'm gonna move you guys to a new scene.
About the torch, that Everbright torch that you want us to have on from now on, is that like... So it is something that we do have
It's
in
an
universe.
Everburning torch. That's what it is.
Gotcha. I'm just making sure so I can unprepare dark vision elixirs, it seems, from now on.
If you can still have opportunities where you use dark vision to allow yourself to stealth easier.
I
But-
see.
If you have those. Oh, and me mentioning it because I want people on the stream to see a little bit of color. Yeah. So,
They can just imagine they're watching a very poor tasting film from the 50s. Black and white detective, except there's no detective. And there's a lot of... Actually, no, there's no blood because that wasn't allowed in those films.
Maybe something like Goncharov.
load in.
Who was gonna carry the torch? Should we just have Parent do it?
Can't believe my dark vision doesn't work anymore.
The torch is on your belt because it doesn't give off heat. So don't worry about, even though it only activates if you put it in a hand, right? Just,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I'll just turn it on. 3 hands.
and
He's
keep
got a
that.
tail.
Okay. As you guys are standing out here, establish your exploration activities for me, if you will, please.
Yep, I'm still keeping this.
I'll keep search going.
Still searching. Actually, I need to go detect magic.
Actually, we'll do one thing for you guys real quick. There we go. So, because they placed 180 down wrong, like around the corner, right? So, as you find this trail of destruction here, it obviously goes into the front of the cave here, but as you guys do get close to it, I want you to roll your search checks on the outside of this rocky hillock here. If you are, of course, searching as your exploration activity. So, those of you that have your eyes peeled, nobody notices except for Yarmos as you are heading a little bit more south. There is an alternate entry you could take, thanks to your perception check.
Oh, look, we could sneak in order to parley with the beast instead of going in the front door to parley with the beast.
And can you speak with animals, Dramos?
Keva seems charismatic enough to manage it. I'm sure he could figure something out with body language.
I mean, he talks to you all the time.
I mean, most of us are able to hold a conversation with giraffes, so surely this thing won't be too much of a challenge either.
I don't know if that's more insulting to the creature or giraffe.
What advantage would the secondary entrance have for us?
Is that something that Yarmos can discern?
Well, at least you guys can see, in this cave, with a little bit of bioluminescence allowing them to glow for you guys, are many tall fungi that seem to occupy this central area of the cave there.
I don't trust those mushrooms.
Yeah, from what I can tell, probably avoiding whatever plant life grows in caves is to our advantage.
Very well.
I was eaten by a plant, you know. I would not like to risk that again.
I remember that. I'm glad you're okay.
You a vegan not because you love animals, but because you hate plants? Well, actually, that wouldn't be the reason to stop eating meat, but still. And consider a salad as vengeance.
Focus.
That's gonna be sapient in here.
So, you guys find there's this narrow sort of passage that allows you to get through here into what is a small irregular cavern here that has rotting leaves and other vegetation sort of filling its ground space here. Passages enter from the northeast and the sort of east as well, while, of course, you guys entered through this small narrow passage from the outside.
I don't want to go near those mushrooms, but it looks like
Neither
there's
do
another
I.
tunnel.
Those of you
It doesn't
searching
look like there's mushroom for us there.
for this room, search with your perception checks if you are searching. Okay. So it is actually Kiba that notices something's wrong. Something is shifting in all this rotten vegetation beneath your feet, and before it can shamble out, you see this form starting to try to sneakily rise its way out. So you've prevented it from using its reaction, but you've fought one of these before, this rotting vine
Oh,
creature.
yay.
Speaking of plants,
Oh, hey. Look, Giamo's right time for round 2.
Oh boy.
Initiatives.
Oh, well, I was wrong. I'm so glad I'm starting right next to it.
And it will roll its own. Pretty poor roll for it, so poor rolls
good.
all around at the very least. As it does sort of rise out of the muck here. Well, Giraffe, you're the first to notice it as Kiba sort of shouts out in warning. What do you do?
Since I'm right here, I'm gonna, drawing my Montblanc and Bloodthirst, double slice it and parry.
Okay. Yeah, it is always assumed that you have your weapons drawn when you're entering dangerous places. So just regular strikes. First strike of the Montblanc, well, that'll be a critical strike to start things off.
Lovely.
I like this.
Crash the blade
Talking
into
about
it,
his
as there's this thundering reverberation off of it. It will take that 25 damage, it will roll its fortitude save, because that sort of sonic boom does hit it, but it will not be deafened, if you can even deafen a creature like this. Yarmus, are we assuming that you have poisons on?
Oh right, yeah, I do actually.
Alright,
Thanks for your reminder.
make sure to throw them out.
Oh, I need to recast my blade ally.
How does the 31 fare?
It hits, roll the damage.
Yeah, normal hit.
Alright, 10 more damage to it. It does fail its saving throw on the poison
Oh.
as well. So it is also going to take which one, cold or fire?
So I start with cold.
Each round, the type of damage dealt by this poison changes, starting with... Okay, that's complex. I like that. Anyway, 5 damage there. And yes, I need it to make another fortitude save on that same poison, right? On both his weapons?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's on both his weapons and on Kiba's.
Alright, so that does succeed
you
on that
save.
one, so it doesn't get increased on this affliction, but either way, did take that poison. We have to keep track of that going forward. And Giraffe, parry.
I parry and end my turn.
Alright, Gaz, good to you.
I guess it's gonna start out with an overdrive.
Mm-hmm. Getting your stuff into gear, that does work. Thing clicks into place.
He is going to just immediately crank his stuff into motion and smash his mechanical arm toward it.
Mm-hmm. Just try to smack into the creature. Unfortunately, that will be a miss.
That is unfortunate. I'm going to use my last action to go for a second strike. Why not?
Mm-hmm. This one will miss as well. As you're trying to sort of sling these pummeling fists out towards it. It's able to slap them back with its tentacles, his viney lashes. So, Parenth, we go to your turn.
Well, I forgot everything about this creature, so I'm gonna do a recall knowledge.
Alright, nature. Unfortunately, you don't know what to say about it. Can't be too
Very
sure.
forgetful. Parent has a 1 down.
Alright, angling a burning hands towards it. It'll make a reflex. And it will fail this roll with a 2 on the dice, actually, so it'll take another 5 damage from this quick blast of burning hands. However, it doesn't take any damage because it's sort of this wet, sopping mass seems to absorb enough of it to resist all of the effect.
Yeah, fire doesn't work, guys.
Not immune,
its
but at
turn.
least resistant to it. So, Kiba, good to you.
I'll take a step closer, and now that I'm finally have a glaive back in my hands again, I can fight from a slight bit of a distance. And I'll make a couple swings.
At the optimal distance of letting the wizard have sight line of the enemy.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Quick slash down of the glaive. Will be a miss there.
Okay. I'll let that slide, and I'll try a second slash.
Mm-hmm. The quick attempt
I'm
again.
gonna re-roll that one.
Okay. Try
I
to
know,
bring
not
it
the
back
optimal
around.
order, but you know. Whatever.
And will, yeah, just unfortunately miss it. It's taking you guys a little bit by surprise, even though it's sluggish to bring itself up. Nothing has struck it much except for Giraffe. So, Yarmos, your turn.
I want to start off by striking it with a skunk bomb.
Mhm.
Good grief! I always forget to redraw it every single every single day of preparing this.
Mm.
But regardless,
Sling the bomb. That's a little bit of a bigger explosion than I expected, but yes, I'll have to change that. That'll be a hit. Roll the damage.
wonderful.
God will help you throw that strike in and slam a strike for 9 poison damage to it. And yes, it'll roll its fortitude save. Though this time, it'll be plenty high for it to resist the effect of it.
That's great. Yeah.
Mm.
Yarmos is going to stride away behind the marshals and then prepare an action to aid Giraffe in a strike against this creature, this plant.
Okay. So, as we get to the creature's turn, this plant's turn, it's going to shift itself with a step, sort of carefully moving along there, before it then makes a just pounding, lashing strike out at everybody it can within its reach with all those vines. So this is an attack against everybody.
Yay!
Oh
How long
boy.
does this reach again? Oh, it's
Reaches 10
everybody.
feet.
Yeah,
It is everybody.
wonderful.
Misses a Giraffe. Easily enough, you slice into one of the tentacles. This comes for you.
20 on a nat 1.
Guys
Oh,
trying to
boy.
duck away. You do not, actually, just barely. You'll still be hit. For a total of 15 points of
Don't
damage to
take that
Gaz.
yet.
Keep it. There was a glimpse of redemption.
Redemption. Enfeeble.
Remember to
I
throw the
would have waited
effect
till
onto
to see
Gaz.
what the wizard was gonna get hit by.
Got it?
There we go. Shouldn't have 2. Should that apply correctly? Yes, okay. Applied correctly, so you can remove it immediately after you take the damage correctly. And yes, it'll be enfeebled for the remaining attacks, which actually might help a lot to ablate its blows. So, Yarmos. It will hit you,
Lol.
but not crit
Not crit, thank
because
goodness.
of enfeebled.
I did that.
So, as this becomes
Thank
a little
you.
bit weakened by this divine urge to not do harm, deals less damage. Goes to Parent. Will miss Parent. So this is alongside of you, but your armored scales deflect it, and you're able to cut away at one of the vines attacking you, Kiba. That'll be its turn, as, yeah, it didn't do as much as it wanted to. Giraffe.
Oh boy. I'm gonna do more of the same. Double slice into a parry.
I was gonna flank. But
That's a good point. I wasn't thinking of that.
either way, first strike did come out, so we'll go with the strikes then. Still a hit. And flank wouldn't have changed it. So 19 damage, yeah, a lot of base, more
and
damage.
Yarmo's 8's second strike.
Okay, second strike. So make the attack, Giraffe, and make Yarmos your aid check as well. We'll see if that added +1 maybe won't help it, unfortunately.
I'm then gonna stride to the other side of it.
Okay, seems a little bit too sluggish to try an attack opportunity. Gaz.
Should now be flat-footed against a couple of us.
He is. I know this is a weird thing to say, but he's going to move behind Perrin.
Mm-hmm.
Simply so he
Wizard meat shield.
Wizard meat shield. It's not that weird. You have reach. It's fine.
can. Exactly, yeah. And with flanking, I believe he is going to strike out now.
Okay. Quick battering strike. Unfortunately, even with flank won't do it.
I will reroll that.
I'm cursed with bat rolls today and continue to be, unfortunately.
I will. Gaz is just going to keep going and go for another strike.
Another one does exactly hit, actually.
Oh
9
boy.
damage. Good flank there. And as you batter in, deal 9 damage to it. Overdriven fist.
And that's a 10.
Alright, so, Parenth.
Parent is going to reach out, and he's going to let's see how electricity works. Wasn't target on. Why I say unknown token?
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
He does electric.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why it has it already. Like, on my end, it says it already failed it, but it has failed anyway with this 8, so roll it full damage. Quick shock of electricity gone towards it, 11 damage. However, with the electricity, it takes no damage, and the electricity seems to surge through its weapon form, bolstering it. It is
That's no good.
quickened, and it gets temporary HP as well.
Everyone just like
Pyrite, why?
Many apologies, but reminder for the poison.
Parenth,
Okay,
why?
bad with this.
Roll the fortitude. The poison.
I'm using shield and I'm ending my turn in shame.
Okay. Fire on this
Fire,
one.
yeah.
Shame, shame.
Stage 2, fire.
Oh, it's actually 3d6 fire, right? It's stage 2, yeah. So it takes 10 damage, actually 5 because of its resistance to fire. But now, as it's surging with this electricity, yeah, it seems a little bit faster. So, Kiba.
well then. I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm in a good spot. And I'm just gonna see just how much damage I can do from here.
Okay.
Double checking some stuff real quick. I think I'm good. Alright, let's go for it. Strike.
Quick slash in. 9 with
Okay,
the
good.
flank will hit. Slice into it. 13 damage there. Fire won't affect it. The positive won't either because it's not undead, but still some damage.
And continue with a follow-up.
Another slash and another hit.
Take it.
Holding your ground here. Holding the thing back. Another 8 damage to it. That'll be 2 actions, right?
Yeah, with one more follow-up. Just in case.
Doing
No good.
so well.
Keep it.
Very close to the natural 20. Went to the 8. We'll miss.
I saw that. I'm like, eh.
Alright, Yarmos.
I'm not re-rolling on a third attack.
Yarmus is going to reload his crossbow. Prepare to aid Draft's next attack, and also take another step back because he does not want to experience that again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first turn.
Back to the vine lashing creature. It, now surging with electricity, is going to do another one of its vine lashes, in fact. So, everyone in reach. Giraffe first. So it does this tantrum of
Alrighty.
attacks here. Giraffe, unfortunately,
Oh boy.
will take a critical strike.
So Giraffe is getting objection for that one.
Yep. So before you take the damage there, let Kiba put on the reaction.
Placed.
There we go.
Maintain the enfeeble.
Feeble is on still, so Draft, you can now take the damage.
Oh, that's not bad. A little scratch.
The worst it could be with Kiba helping you out.
I have
Kiba.
so much health. I'm not used to this. I always play the glass cannons.
You are struck, Kiba.
Good.
Not as much, of course, because it's a little bit weakened. 13. Barenth lashes towards you. Will certainly hit, but not a crit again because of the enfeebling effect. Too weak to really gain purchase against you for 12 damage there. And you used your shield, just raise it. This will go to Gaz, will strike, and will hit for 21 against Gaz. Then, with its surging speed, it's actually going to shift itself with a stride over to here. Cough.
It's
That was a
striding.
stride.
It is striding.
Giraffe. Nelder.
Yeah.
Movement
Yeah. Opportunity attack.
Yeah, go for it. Party doesn't want you to
Mumble.
miss that. Slice towards it will exactly hit, actually. For 19 more damage for its trouble.
That is so delicious.
It gets
that
there.
damage.
Doesn't like that Yarmus is running, so it's going to make a final strike against him using that quickened action now. Will miss, though, with that strike. And it's no longer quickened. That quick surge was, enough for it to move a little bit faster, but otherwise, didn't do much. Giraffe.
Short-lived.
Giraffe.
Hello.
Yeah, it's my turn now.
Yes.
Gonna step forward and double slice.
Go for
Hey, you guys want me electrocuted again?
it.
No.
Well, you might not have a chance. Crit. And a cleaving strike into the creature. As you have gotten sick of this thing, as it battered into you, you return the favor, diving for the heart of it. And as you do, you cleave it from its body and allow it to fall to the ground there.
Tired of these things.
That is the
I
end
like
of
that.
Hey, Yarmos, want a salad?
Prey eats predator, I suppose.
Note to self: do not shoot these things full of electricity again in the future.
That's right. Now that we've had a little fight, I say we take 10.
Give yourselves 60 experience points for that.
Honestly, that is a very interesting quality of these things. I should maybe research these at some point and maybe make use of them for myself.
Okay, here come the lay on hands for Gaz
It's like
and
how
then
you
for
should make-
Yarmos.
It's like how you should make use of the hero points that you have gone at this very moment.
Ah, yeah. We are at the last hour.
Many thanks.
As you guys are prepping up, I'll be right back.
Yep. Let's do a nice little 10-minute rest. I insist.
Glad it was Parent who ended up zapping it and not me, because I was considering doing it.
Be embarrassing indeed. I want to, since we're taking 10 for Kiba to refocus, you might also want to do medicine on someone.
Oh, fair.
Alright, I'm back.
I
Welcome
don't
back.
really need it. I mean, all of us are like slightly injured, but I don't think it's too pressing.
Giraffe a crit.
Oh, yes, but he's barely injured. Gaz is going to quickly treat Draft's wounds.
Sure.
May as well.
Test, test, test. Roger that. A little bit more healing there. Get over, patch him up a little bit. So, these guys have dealt with that creature. You also notice that there is a body that was slumped underneath it. And revealed seems to be a man in robes with a wand clutched in their hand. What you now realize, Parent, is an ill-thought usage.
Oh no. Oh, I like that spell.
Wait, Sunbolt's arcane now? Wasn't it only primal before?
It was Arcane Primal. It's always been Arcane Primal, I think. I don't think it was changed.
My wizard had that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pen's eyes light up as he very quickly adds it to his collection of wands.
It's all you, my friend.
So, let's pick up that. You have two passages before you, one to the east, along narrow passageway, or one to the north into that mushroom-infested fungal den.
I definitely do not want to go up there.
Can you all identify those mushrooms by chance?
From here?
From here.
Can we?
DC is higher, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's nature.
Oh yeah.
Will try as well, obviously.
Neither of you are quite sure what to make of those mushrooms, if they're dangerous or not, anything of that matter.
Well, brightly colored things tend to be more toxic. We should stay clear.
The brighter the colors, the more dangerous it is.
You got that
Besides,
right.
There's this thing in the suit skill, Warren, we call the principle of sunk cost. We already spent so much effort going through this way to avoid the mushrooms, so we should keep going this way. It's only logical.
Graf, I'm right behind you.
That's a fallacy.
Alright. Squeezing your way into this passageway is not too much of a squeeze, but does narrow a little bit as you get forward. Before branching out a little bit, you hear the drip of water and something beyond it. As you guys are going along, do roll me, if you are searching, your perception.
I have turned
You
off
got it.
detect magic, and I am searching now.
Okay. So, Kiba, as you continue along, it is Yarmos, looking through the Stag's Helm eye, that sees that there's an outline of stone up ahead of you, and there's a little bit of a clearing here that looks fractured and, well, unstable.
Like in a sense that it might collapse as we step over it, or
Certainly might.
Interesting. Let's get a closer look. What do you think about here, or a little bit closer?
Just about where it opens up, he can tell you.
careful. Is it just like 5 or 10 feet of it, or
It's about 10
the
feet.
rest of the passage?
Not the whole passage, but 10 feet of it. Like there. Seems to be unstable with fractures all around it. If you put enough weight on it, it'd probably collapse into some sinkhole.
Maybe we can find some way to reinforce it.
Seeing that Gaz has a mining lawyer, could he maybe come up with some way to do that?
Yeah, as you push your way forward to have a look at it. What are you crafting?
Can I assist him?
Or
with
mining
that?
lore, sorry.
Oh, never mind.
Crafting would be the higher check, honestly, so I'm probably gonna go with that.
If you use a lore, the DC is lower.
Oh, fair enough.
And it's usually lower by, in my book, 4 for lore checks. But, yeah, with your... There we go. Missed somebody. So, with your knowledge of mining, you recognize that, well, there is a ledge on its southern side that doesn't follow the fracture line as much as the rest of it. It seems to be a separate type of rock that won't collapse with it. So if you were to just sidle along the ledge there, that he can point out for everybody else, you'd be fine. And you don't have to make a check for that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Gaz will point it out and just keep to the southern wall and you'll be fine. Just don't slip.
Well, why don't I go first then?
By all means, go ahead.
You can
No.
put your token inside of it. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you walked your token
Yep.
there.
It's
Oh,
over.
yeah.
I just kind of show you all.
Just thinking along the ledge that he
Yeah,
pointed
like
out.
that.
Nice job spotting that, Dramos.
That was very good.
Really good roll on the perception. So, as you guys surpass this, give yourselves 30 experience points. A hazard dealt with. And as you're giving yourselves that experience, those of you, well, actually, I shouldn't say that with your group, you all have dark vision. You all see around this corner as it dips into what seems to be an underground, like, little pool here. You also see a grisly sight of corpses along the way, northeastern walls of it. And you also start to make out the makings of what seems to be a den of a sort. Rocks sort of gathered around what looks to be tufts of fur and feather.
I think we may have lost Yakes, by the way.
Oh,
You lost. Well, you lost me for a bit. I'm
Oh,
back
okay,
in.
sorry.
Yeah.
oh, there you are. Okay. So, what do you guys do as you look at this scene before you?
I have no specific plans.
I can barely spot a nest in there. We could give it my old welcoming gift I gave to that sylph once.
I don't want to be stuck down here in this tunnel when it gets welcomed by you.
Fair enough.
Let's just play it by ear.
Okay. You dip into the water here. A little bit of a slosh. You're being careful. You're not being overly loud. But as you get into this room here, do roll me a perception check. Those of you, of course, searching. Once your tokens are, of course, within the room, though. You get the sense, in this massive cavernous space, that nest of which is occupied. There is a rising and falling form, what seems to be a slumbering beast. One that has these crossbow bolts pricked into its back there. You can't see much of its form other than its big round back as it rises and falls, taking in so much air in the room as if to make a draft. And I will note, water is difficult terrain. If you guys stay in it, you might have trouble getting past it. But
How deep is this water?
It's like 2-3 feet. Like you can traverse it pretty well.
That's up to Yarmus's neck.
Trent awkwardly swims through it.
Okay.
So now that we're seeing this thing, is it just look like a giant owlbear to us, or are there any other like strange things going on with it?
You're not sure. At this distance, with the light as well, just being dark vision at that distance, you can't tell unless you were to get closer with the light. As it slumbers, you would have to be careful, though.
What's the plan? It's asleep right now. We could attack it. Gaz could use his welcoming present.
Could try taming it if we wanted to. Would probably make a good guardian or something.
You have made multiple terrible ideas this week.
Since we already have light on one person, I'm gonna light up my glaive.
Okay.
Now that I remember that I have that spell.
Well, I'm not very good at being quiet, so somebody else is going to have to go investigate or just start something.
The giraffe, right?
Kiba, as you step forth into the room, your glaive gleaming in the air, a holy weapon of Shalin, you've come for vengeance. Strange, because mostly you're trying to redeem creatures, but you doubt that the creature that's stirred by your approach and rises out from it with this massive beak filled with splinters and blood, its back bristled with these spines of crossbow bolts, and, well, now its feathers sort of hiking up as it sees you approach. You doubt there's any redeeming a creature like this. Just a beast that would go on a rampage in your own home. I need your initiatives, as it begins to bellow this earth-shattering screech that fills the room with these falling bits of rock and hurts your ears to listen to. Is there anything you say, Kiba?
My browser just glitched on me. So give me a moment.
Sure. I'll roll your thing here at least.
My initiative. Yeah.
Initiative.
Cool. So we're currently reloading right now.
Okay. So, while Kiba is pressing forward, Yarmos, your turn is actually the first one.
Wonderful. Yarmos gonna feed a Dracar mutagen to Gaz.
Okay.
He's gonna follow
I'm
up.
in.
Alrighty. Kiba, we can wait until your turn because your turn is next.
Recall knowledge is within 30 feet, right?
No. It's just you can make recall
Is he-
knowledge.
alright. I'd like to try recall knowledge about this thing, nature.
Okay. Trying to get a sense for it, you've never seen an owlbear this big, and of the owlbears you've seen, yeah, this one's strange. Guys, you already have a buff on you. You doubled it up.
Sorry.
So, either way, you don't know what to say about the creature.
Let's see. Yarmos gonna finish off his turn by tossing this gun. Actually, he can't do that. He's gonna finish off his turn by
Can throw it. It's just added distance. Malice
Right, yeah.
is -2.
Oh yes, that is correct. He's gonna throw it
Okay.
as well.
It'll automatically apply the minuses, so go for it. Strike out towards it. Unfortunately, completely misses.
Can I reroll that?
Despite, yeah, you certainly can.
Use him or lose him.
Oh, missed the natural 20. Unfortunately, it still will just miss as,
Pain.
yeah, nothing occurs, and that
That's it for his
is.
turn.
I mean, it'll make it save, but it,
Yeah, I'll still take the splash to save.
yeah, it'll take the splash damage actually, and the save is way high, so yeah, won't
Very,
be
yeah.
affected by it.
Obviously.
Would have been sickened if it was hit. Either way, Kiba, as you wave your glaive in front of you, Yarmos gets a jump and throws some bombs, but what do you do?
Oh no, my initiative tracker is completely wrong. I'm just gonna take your word for it, and yeah, I move in with the glaive. No. No, I ready my glaive and prepare an attack for when it gets in my range.
Okay, that is 2 actions. You would have 1 more.
Yeah, what can I do with that? For a creature like this.
I will shout it down.
What are my skills even like? Is anything? No, I don't think anything really. Yeah, I could try shouting it down. Just in case. So I guess that would technically come before the.
It doesn't matter for it because the reaction. Yeah. So go for intimidation.
Yeah.
So let's try to intimidate the beast. Unfortunately, it's not going to be intimidated. You are overwhelmed by the screeching that it is doing before, well, it charges. It's Giraffe. Are you in voice, Giraffe? You may be muted.
Hello, hello.
There you go.
Hello, hello.
Oh, my numlock was on, so my voice to talk, push to talk wasn't working. Anyways, striding up and double slicing. Going on
Okay.
the offense.
You rush up to the creature. Just take in mind, Kiba had prepared to attack it, seeing as it might come to Kiba first.
Well, in that case, instead of double slicing,
Mhm.
I'm gonna strike it with the Momblet.
Mhm.
No, I'm gonna strike it with the Bloodthirst. Just a singular strike.
Yep. That'll miss, unfortunately.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Hide is tough as you try to slice into the feathers. But yeah, unless you get a really good strike in, 25 is not going to do it.
Then I'm going to stride next to Kiba.
Okay. Yeah, guys, make sure to impart what you're doing and like shoutouts, even if it means imposing a little bit on your allies. Kiba could always say, "Hey, don't stand next to it. I want it to come to me." All that.
Indeed.
So, with that, we go to the creature. As it pounds its claws, these massive talons into the earth, and rushes out, jumping from the nest here, it is going to make a screeching advance upon you all. So, as it does so, I need a will save from all of you. This blood-curdling screech.
Will that come before or after my strike?
It is screeching as it advances.
As it runs?
Yeah. It is going to be, let me see, screeching advances specifics. At any point during the movement. Yeah, so you do have to make it first. Before you can strike.
Thank you.
Alright, so on this, the DC is that. Yarmos, you just barely keep yourself, staying here. You're frightened 1. With a success. Kiba, failure, frightened 2. Parent, success, frightened 1. Giraffe, failure, frightened 2, but is frightened 1 because you are a fighter and you have bravery. And I would need one from Gaz,
Sweet.
1 second, apologies.
which is a failure, frightened 2. None of you feels the need to run from this creature. Some of you might have if things went poorly, but you all steeled yourselves, you all know what this creature did, and you all know what needs to happen. As part of that screeching advance, it does have 2 strides as part of it, so it is just going to rush all the way around each of you.
I do get a reaction strike.
Yep, a reactive strike as it is now called instead of attack of opportunity.
Same here.
I'm rerolling.
Okay. Try to sling your glaive towards it. Natural 20 there,
Ooh, I
Kiba.
like that.
You steeled yourself and you knew that there was a perfect strike in there somewhere, an artful one.
Since it passed me, does that count as opportunity attack
Yep,
as well?
You can.
Cool.
It was running
Which was
around you.
on Kiba's blade.
Yep. So Kiba deals 51 damage to the beast, but
Yeah.
man, seems like it is able to resist some, or in the positive, of course, and it has a lot of health still. Giraffe, you hit as well. I'm gonna do the poison for Kiba's strike. 9 damage from Giraffe. It succeeds on its poison save.
As expected.
So, as it burns a little bit from that artful strike into its side, instead of using its own momentum against it, it has 1 more action after that screeching advance of 2 actions, so it will strike out back at Kiba with a beak strike. With its beak gnawing down at you. This is a crit. Even on a 13 on the dice. For a total
Darn
of 50 points of damage. As you are shaking too much, though, your will... You're distracted for a moment as the beak comes down and it becomes a nasty strike against you. You can't defend against it. That'll be its turn. Parent.
Parenth is going to do his weird time stuff.
Alright, shifts around you.
And I'm going to use that movement to try to get out of here.
Luckily for you, seems like it doesn't have attacks of opportunity.
Draft showed that to us earlier when he sprinted around.
See, that was just strategic intelligence gathering.
Tactics.
I want to do a recall knowledge.
Nature. I will say, it's going to be very difficult against a unique creature like this. But, with that kind of roll, I can give you one thing. What do you want to know about it, Parent?
What's the slowest save?
Its lowest save is its reflex. It's big, lumbering, but it's, yeah, low reflex.
Well, you know what Parenth just got?
Sunbolt, crashing down on it.
Nice.
From the darkness of the ceiling and down here, it claps through the room. Might succeed still yet on that, though. Critical of half the damage, which is still something. Very much so.
It didn't cast it at second level, unfortunately. Oh no, it is a second level. Never mind. Disregard.
Yeah, it's a second level spell, and so that being said, Gaz, what do you do?
Well, Gaz sees what Parenth is doing, and he's going to join in on the fun. He is going to use Megavolt.
Okay.
Unstable.
An unstable megavolt as you perhaps, you know, that you have that diode at the top that charges with electricity, courses down both of the digger arms and putting them together for some blast, yeah. It's something you'd see in the fucking demonetize. What's it called?
Basic reflex save.
Nothing but rice cakes for Corvos this week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, basically. Sorry, I forgot about that. DC 20. Well, it fails it with a 3. It's his lowest save. So, roll that damage as you blast this Megavolt out towards it.
That is no
Pain.
Damage
Painful.
there. It is a line spell, so if you get a couple of creatures in it, maybe a little bit more effective. But also roll your unstable check.
Of course. I'm still very hurt by that.
Not taking any damage, but you're not able to recharge it quickly.
I'm going to use my final action to overdrive.
Mm-hmm. Just pull back on some of that energy that's still running in your system there. And will be enough with the Crafter's Ice Piece, even though you're a little bit shaking. So, overdrive successful. Yarmos, we go to your turn.
Right, Yarmos was going to heal Kiba, but hearing a parent's device, decides instead to quickly up a blind pepper bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then he proceeds to toss that at the owlbear. And that does this. And it's also a DC. It's also a DC 21 because I quick alchemied it instead of preparing at the beginning of the day.
So it's DC, sorry, say it again. DC what?
It's DC 21 instead
Okay.
of 17.
I'm gonna still hit the button here because it's easier, and I'll add +4.
Yeah.
So -4 from that. It would not critically succeed then, because of the DC 21. Is there any success effect though? There isn't, right?
Let's see over here.
There isn't.
Fortunately
yeah.
not.
It has
No.
to fail.
Yeah.
So, no effect, unfortunately. The blind pepper, it avoids. Enough of it.
Oh well. In that case, Yarmos is going to swallow and fight against his innate kobold cowardly nature to move up here and flank for the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kiba?
That's it for his turn.
Well then, I'll stay put. And, well, first of all, I'll self-heal on myself, which is what self-heal means.
Quick restoration.
And follow up with a mighty close-range slash with my glaive. Hope to get some results similar to what I had last time.
Sort of half-handing the glaive a little bit down the shaft of the blade of the thing. Anyway, you strike. Will be a miss
That's
there.
a reroll.
Okay, last one, I think.
Hope I don't die.
Plus not the natural 20, went to the 14 with the flank from Yarmus, distracting it for just a moment as it turns around. You take the opportunity to strike and hit. Or to the 14. Well, a little bit less, of course.
Kind of.
It's positive. Yeah. Anything else?
It's a little tricky with that AC, but I'm going to...
Can always try to aid somebody else, because it could get them a crit.
That's so cool.
You're not
Aid.
using your reaction, though. That's the thing, because it takes your reaction.
Takes my reaction to do it.
Yeah. It's up to you, offense or defense. I do want to, get my players to use aid more, because it is actually really useful.
Yeah, I appreciate reminders that about abilities that exist that I might not normally use because it doesn't show up on my sheet.
So, do you risk your reaction to try to help somebody else, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. What do I need to do?
So all you do is declare who you're helping.
Giraffe for sure.
Okay, so
He.
when Giraffe makes a strike, you make your own strike. The DC is always 20, because it signifies you getting better and better at helping your allies as you level up. So, Giraffe, what are you doing?
I am double slicing. First
Okay,
with my Mombele so that I get help on the higher damage weapon.
Kiba.
Beautiful. Looks
Kiba,
good.
that's a success, so this will be a +1 Giraffe strike. Giraffe, just make your strike, you don't need to add manually. We'll just add +1. 14. Not enough to get it to a crit, but extra +1 is something. That'll be a hit from you, Giraffe. 20 damage. And
Good
also,
damage regardless.
aid is actually really good as well to help casters to hit their spells, because casters have a harder time hitting things. But that being said, Giraffe, 20 damage.
Okay. I already did roll the damage, it's 20. Now I'm doing the bloodthirst.
Yep. And a slice with the bloodthirst hits as well.
And for my last action, I'm gonna parry.
As you slash into it too, the creature's actually having a hard time keeping up with you guys. However, you've seen what the creature can do. It is going to... Well... let's see... Yeah, it's gonna do that, I think. Yep. It is going to first use its claws, its talons, to strike at Kiba. However, missing, even with
So close.
that strike. Would have hit on a 24. As you're able to deflect these claws, it will then go in for a beak strike. 18 on the dice.
Got
With its
beaked.
map, it is still a crit.
Uh-oh.
I'll miss you.
You're thrown to the side by the claws. You can't come back up to deflect the beak strike. You survive.
I'm on my feet.
Didn't roll too well at D12s.
Wow.
And
I'm really curious how close you are to falling.
yeah, in
Well,
this
I mean, look at the
situation,
color of.
Yeah. You know what? That deep red tells me all I need to know.
it's going to try to be smart, slice you down.
I'll miss you all.
Oh,
Final
no.
attack. It didn't do exactly what it wanted to do this round, but it put you down on the ground, at least for that. So with you down, that'll be the end of its turn. Parent, you're up.
I'm helping.
Badly injured. Is this a good time for a fireball? I'm gonna cast grease under it.
Okay. I'll roll its reflex save. We don't need to place down the stuff because, yeah,
Oh, okay, well, that dropped.
it does succeed. It doesn't slip.
Yo.
I see Parent was preparing the world's biggest Thanksgiving dinner, first greasing it up and then grilling it.
I am going to use Hand of the Apprentice.
Alright. Throwing out the wand or whatever. Strike out.
It's a +1 striking sphere, actually.
Oh, yeah. Sling that off, though, it certainly misses, unfortunately.
Oh, I tried.
Slings off of its hide there. Gaz.
I guess that's his usual thing of scooching up behind the front line and administering some help to Kiba.
Okay. $18 healing to Kiba. Brings him back into the fight, somewhat, at least.
Thank you.
If you can knock it down, it will still have issues getting up.
I have a feeling that my mass just simply isn't enough to even attempt that. It's a magnitude higher than me. Larger, excuse me.
Just too big.
He is, however, just simply going to strike at it, even around Giraffe.
Past Giraffe. Shouldn't be too hard because, I mean, it's so high above Giraffe. You do hit it.
Oh, wow.
Cracking into its side. 14 damage there. It's actually looking pretty rough. So. We got a Yarmos.
Yarmos was is still moments away from fleeing, but decides to stand his ground, seeing how his allies are regrouping on the other side, and tries again with another blunt pepper bomb.
Okay. Splash of it to the side of it so it doesn't hit your allies, of course.
Of course.
Reflex. Was 9. Will succeed, unfortunately. With DC 21.
Yarmos is going to anticipate a lot of hurting next round and valets 2 health potions, 2 elixirs of life to his hands.
Alright.
Is that right, sir?
Dual wielding elixirs of life. We get a Giraffe.
I hope this will end this. So let's go for a double slice.
We're gonna bear the Mumble natural 1.
I don't have any hero points, I don't think.
Not anymore. He used a lot of them.
Nope.
Bloodthirst from the side. 19 with the flank is enough to crit. Cleave into the creature for 20 more damage. It will start to bleed as well from the bloodthirst.
And I get 1d8 temp HP.
That is right.
Sip.
You get 6 there. This is looking really rough, really bloodied. Anything else, Giraffe, on your turn?
Since it's so close, I'm going to go for a map attack.
Alrighty.
The greed has paid off before.
I mean, it does hit. Roll your damage.
Oh,
The greed pays.
5, 11. Not enough to kill it.
But I'm close. It's close.
It's so very
Somebody
close.
just, like, give it a paper cut.
Angrily forging on. It might bleed out on its own. But Kiba,
That's where I come in. I grip my glaive and I get back up to my feet. And look this thing right in the eye and bring the glaive down upon it to try to finish it off
okay.
and ensure that this never happens again.
11 on the dice. Misses by 1. Because you are still frightened.
But I still have one more chance.
Actually,
frightened persists through unconsciousness.
you should not be frightened, I don't think. Because other people were frightened too, and they've lost theirs, right?
Because,
It might have been because of how the turn order changed.
because of how the turn order changed.
You got... Yeah, you got it on the first round. You've had... Yeah, you shouldn't have frightened. Because you shouldn't have had frightened, to be fair to you. You do hit on the first strike. You steel yourself, you realize you can do this, you can slice this thing down, and you can bring justice to your people. And as you cleave into the side of it, it roars, trying to screech, but it's... You know, it's bleeding and... Well... Can't get it out, can't destroy you, cannot survive as it falls before you before it has a chance to strike down anybody else. That's the end of that encounter. I did really well against that. That's usually a hard fight.
It
Yeah.
was a hard fight.
I mean, harder, even.
What's that?
Can be harder even, but
Uh-huh.
That being
Is
said,
it, is it what, 2 centipedes?
give yourselves 120 experience points.
It is 2 centipedes. Wow.
That adds up to 470, right?
Yes.
Should be. Wait, what's
Sweet.
me?
470, yes, it is.
470.
Because you
I
had
missed
you
30
missed the
somewhere.
30 from the trap.
The trap, probably.
Oh, yeah, because I was out completely.
Oh yeah. So, as you guys look at this scene, parents sort of bring the torch over to these bodies here. The bodies of these don't look to be any of your townsfolk, strangely enough. They look like others. Outsiders, perhaps, to your kingdom. The beast has been feasting upon them, but amongst them, the most notable is this one, nestled in the back here, in this green cloak. Seems to have a lot more interesting gear than just basic swords and shields. In fact, on their finger is this sort of viney ring of green.
I knew it. Everybody take a look at this ring.
Well, it's definitely magical.
I point out the lock of green hair around it.
Huh.
It's her. I had a feeling, and I needed proof.
So you're saying that this guy, who is now dead, told that owlbear to attack our town? But he's dead.
I am saying that this man was an agent of the green-haired woman who has been causing trouble around this area. The very same one who put the Troll King against us, and the same one who caused the Stag Lord to take a hold of the region. Most likely, this man sent the owlbear out to our place to rampage. It came back in a fury. The man was probably still here, and it killed him before we arrived. Maybe half a day. I don't know how fast it runs. Maybe longer.
How much hair does one person have?
Hair
Are we-
grows, parent. Have you not been around humans long?
Well, I didn't know that either.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is most likely, well, almost assuredly Fae. Who knows what special rules their hair follows?
Apparently, it's mind controlling or something.
He almost squints at the man's garb. Is it possible to like figure out any kind of nationality or where he
It's-
might have been from?
really doesn't have a special. It looks like leather armor. Nothing would tell nationality from that.
Could be
Gotcha.
anybody.
Looks like this bearded, sort of cropped bearded man you've never met or seen before. Looks rugged enough. You have to wonder what happened here.
Well, we shouldn't let the ring go to waste. It's still magic.
Does anyone else have that feeling of impending dread as we keep collecting more and more artifacts relating to this woman?
A bit, yeah.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
What makes you say that?
It's
I
just
don't know.
hair. Can I determine the significance of all these items having hair attached to them, like from a magical perspective?
Roll me an arcana.
Do you want that blind, I assume?
Recall knowledge, yeah. Well, You remember when you were talking about scrying earlier? You have now 2 pieces of somebody's personal effects.
Maybe it's time I pick up scrying, actually, thinking about it more.
We could always go to the witch. She's that's one of her specialties, is not?
And she has a bit of history with the Fae. She might actually be interested in this.
But she might try to set us against them. Well, obviously we should be set against them, but
They're already against us.
The line has already been crossed a good bit beforehand, Perrin.
apparently just gathering things from this guy's body now.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, knowing the witch, she's probably gonna give us another task for her to do. I don't know, maybe she'll let us clean her garden or house.
And a few other minor sort of bombs and other things on this person.
We don't really need that armor. Well, we probably should go talk to her then. I'm kind of surprised the troll had a skull here if his friends already knew about it.
The Green Lady, perhaps. Perhaps she warned the troll to stay away from this area, both to protect him and to ensure that her other plans don't go disrupted.
As you guys
Dear Lord.
look to the north here, you find a scene of carnage. About half a dozen humanoid bodies lie strewn about in various states of being torn apart. And amongst them, against a corner of the room, is what seems to be the large back of a similarly sized owlbear, dead over there.
Oh. Yeah,
You know, I have a terrible track record of us with suggesting for us to tame certain animals.
Those of
Don't
you
say.
searching, roll me a perception.
Hi, Sovereign
I'm-
Ray.
I'm getting some
Better-
thoughts.
Alright. Guys, you get a tingling feeling here. There's certainly places of carnage in Numeria, and there are certainly strange things having to do with one's mind, and you have a slight, very slight itch on your mind as you feel something welling deep, deep down, as if it's coming closer as you guys step into this room.
It's only an inkling, I'll be honest, but it does feel like there's some kind of berserking aura around here, doesn't it? Something that just drives the adrenaline into the blood to really get one to try and fight, you know?
You think they did some sort of ritual here?
I don't think it's a ritual per se, but just something about this place makes one angry.
I used to detect magic.
Baron, there's a tinge of something here. You're not sure what it is. Strange, because usually you can be pretty sure what the magic is. Can I step closer to investigate anything?
Can we not have the
Terrence?
hardest hitting person?
Parent is going to stop Giraffe. Giraffe, maybe you should just stay to the side for this, just in case.
Fine.
If I want anyone to go berserk at our party, it's you last. you are kind of too dangerous with your weapons.
Francis is gonna keep stepping forward and trying to figure out if there's any like artifact here or something.
Just be
Sure.
careful.
As you step,
Listen,
sorry, go.
listen, I can't punch with crap. You'll be fine.
As you step further into
Yeah.
the room, looking around for anything. You don't see anything. You start feeling that same thing that Gaz was feeling. This thing in your mind, this feeling of carnage on this battlefield. Before you think you hear a voice, a shout, someone's blade crashing against armor or claws against flesh, and before you know it, all the rest of you are experiencing this surge of senses and voices and clashing of blades. Before you start hearing someone shout fire, and apparating out from this bluish energy in the room are these arrows just strewn through the room. As past them, they strike towards what seems to be this massive form of maybe that owlbear that died here. You're not sure. It's this strange echo of it. And as that is being struck by the arrows and people are clashing their blades around and it is striking out, you are all being affected by this battlefield. Note, this is not a creature, this is a hazard, a haunt that you are dealing with. So all around you is this carnage, this battlefield. Blades flying towards you here and there. I need your initiatives.
Got no idea what mechanics are.
Same.
It's called endless struggle. That's not ominous.
I love haunts.
I don't know what a haunt is.
It's like an encounter, like a full combat encounter.
And Kiba, as you realize what is happening here, this is definitely some haunting of this place, this sort of replaying of the battlefield happening before you. This seems a matter for the religious types, at the very least, your mind. What do you want to do?
Oh boy.
What do you want to try? What do you think you can do? You know, this is a situation where a little bit more creativity helps a lot.
The very first thing that comes to my mind is praying to the gods.
Okay. Roll me a religion check. You pray, trying to assuage this spirit, this spiritual battlefield that is occurring here. It is also 2 actions for disable a device, which this technically is whenever you're trying to disable a haunt, trying to use a skill check to do it. You use 2 actions, but to no avail. Skill checks are not the only thing. You can also try to use any other ability you have. It still has HP. It still sort of has, you know, stuff going on with it because it is a creature of a sort, but it has hazard mechanics. So just be creative. I'll let you guys know what happens.
Alright. Well, I'm going to try to start the process of going for a potion, but I don't suppose I'll get very far with 1 action.
You would take out the potion. Yeah, it'd be in your
Yeah.
hand. So, Yarmos, your turn.
I was just gonna start off with a recall knowledge. Try to recall knowledge about this thing.
Okay, that'd be a religion check.
Gotcha.
My game did that same thing that Kiba happened to them, but that is a... Okay, I can tell you, as I'm reloading, Yamos, you get the sense that, yes, beseeching the gods and trying to assuage these spirits, well, spiritually, would work, but also, if you have a connection to nature, because the focal point of this is the struggle of this owlbear as it, you know, dies trying to defend its home, you could use nature, and perhaps to a better degree than religion. Third, I'm going to say this as well. This is a spiritual matter, so perhaps positive energy could have an effect as well.
Well, it's vitality now.
Yeah, which is vitality. I'm probably not going to do Vitality is harder than Positive Energy. I'm just going to use Positive. So,
Gotcha. Alright, well, after relaying this to everybody, Yarmos is going to, see, it's a feet away. He's gonna step right over here, and Ray with his healing healing elixir of life in his hands, going to feed that to, Kayla.
okay.
Probably not enough for a full heal, so maybe him quaffing his own potion will help as well.
Likely.
I'm doing a reload because my foundry just imploded too.
Oh no!
It does that. I think that's like a RAM issue or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because it also affected my Twitch.
Yeah, it might be a memory leak or something like that.
That's
Either
the
way,
first turn.
17 healing to
Thank you.
Kiva. Also, something I forgot to do, but it didn't really have an effect on anything, I don't think. No. As this spectral violence occurs all around you, I do need a will save, as, well, it might be a frightening, occurrence here for all of you. So will save everyone.
I'm seeing a an MO with owlbears here.
I'm seeing a MO with my rolls tonight.
Yeah. Frighten one, Yarmos. Your frighten would have gone away though, because it was your turn. It should have happened at the beginning of initiative for this, because most traps do initiative rolls. So Giraffe, you're fine. You're not afraid.
Oh,
Parrot,
sweet.
you would be frightened. There we go. Actually, Parent, you're frightened 3 with that critical failure.
I'm still trying to get back into the game.
Okay.
I rolled it, but then it's like it stopped working again. Do I have a hero point left?
You do. Yes, you do. You want me to roll your will?
Yes, please.
One more time. I'll add +3 since it shouldn't have -3, but that's still resulting in 2 on a dice, so you're still frightened 3. Gaz frightened 3. And did I miss anybody? He did fail, but you already took your turn. So, Giraffe, your turn. Oops.
I have no idea what I can do here.
Why did it do that? That's not right. There we go. Let's fix that. Giraffe.
I don't know what I can do here.
You can try and
it's
strike
a
it.
hazard. Is that all a fighter can do against the...
Unless he's skilled in something, I mean, you could always, keep his attention, attack it just to, keep this warfare on you. You can...
You know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to double slice at it to try and keep it focused on me.
Okay. Roll
I can
attacks.
take a beating.
Proceeds to get crit.
Miss on the first. Miss on the second, unfortunately. As this spectral form sort of waves around you, you can't get a good strike in. And perhaps not distracting it that much at all. As we go to its turn, however, Parent, you are close by. As the arrows begin to fly once again, as the battle keeps replaying itself, those arrows may hit you. So it's going to start with Parent. As those arrows rip into you, they cause some bleeding on you and deal some good damage there. So negative energy damage and the bleed will be applied once you do the damage. Now it goes to Giraffe. As one of the swordsmen rushes up trying to slice the creature, they slice into you with this and will hit for 15 and the bleed. Finally, Yarmos being the third closest here, it will, as the owlbear sort of rears up, it tries to claw out towards all those attackers, hitting them all aside and hitting you as well.
Ow.
18 damage there. That is its turn. As it continues to replay this battle every round. All those attacks that are happening in this battle seem to be hitting you guys too. So Gaz, what do you do?
Gas will sort of pretend to be like a sort of commanding officer to these soldiers and try to grab their attention, like shouting commands at them to stand down and stop fighting.
Mhm.
Perhaps even retreat.
Disable a device. Those were 2 actions. What skill check were you thinking on this?
I was thinking either diplomacy or probably diplomacy.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Oh boy.
Though might not, even with that, have a great time of doing this, especially with Frightened 3. This is a serious spectral menace here, and you're not able to command these spectral creatures. What else do you do?
I will raise my shield.
All right, Parenth, anything you do?
Yes, I'm gonna try some.
Dispel magic. Okay. Roll your counteract.
Oh, this is affected by frightened. Oh no.
Everything is. 18. Unfortunately, you're not able to gather up the strength to counteract the magic of this effect that's going on around you. It is a strange magic too, one that you're not familiar with. No dice there.
Okay, I'm gonna move away.
Okay. Kiba. Take that bleed
Okay.
and roll the recovery check.
Potion gets popped, and let me get that out of the way first.
Mhm.
And I'm going to continue beseeching the gods, Shellin, Desna, Serenray, maybe even Aristil. I don't know if I would know any Aristil prayers.
Roll your religion.
It's the hand one. That's looking good.
25. That is going to be a success, as you're able to assuage the spirits just enough that a lot of them seem to waver and flash out of existence. The battlefield is still occurring. You need a little bit more of those successes, but you have succeeded.
I'll just keep doing what I'm doing then. This is great.
Yarmos.
So from that recall knowledge earlier, you told me that about nature being perhaps more effective. Does that mean in terms of using it as a check, or is us using it as a recall knowledge?
As check.
Gotcha. I have no idea what kind of action I can even take to.
Disable devices to action, and you just use one of the 2 skill checks that works. So nature or religion.
Right. Yarmos is going to take from Kiba's example with his religious offerings and falls into a prayer as well, although he's not entirely versed and he keeps peeking back at the Katengu to maybe copy some motions.
Sure.
This isn't supposed to be hidden.
Well, either way, I'll reveal it. It is a natural 20. As you are being assaulted by this undead anomaly here, this spiritual agony that these creatures are having, in your heart you do feel some of that light and growth, at least, when you beseech Serenray in particular. Serenray, a goddess known for her dislike of the undead almost as much as Pharasma. And with that beseeching of these creatures to find the light, to follow it away from this realm once and for all, it seems to be enough, as they all flash out of existence, and the rage of this owlbear as it's left finally alone to lay down and die, it seems to at least have a tiny bit of peace from what you granted it. That is the end of that, because that natural 20 gave you 2 successes. That's all
Oh,
you need.
cool.
Oh, thank you, Serenray. Let the light of truth shine upon this cave forevermore.
Amazing.
Supernatural is just too high for me. I'm glad you seem to have a grip on this kind of stuff.
So wait, so now that you're worshipping Sarenrae, you can just wave your hands and make ghosts go away?
It's not nearly that simple. It's... Oh, how do I say this? It's more of a...
It's about
request.
illuminating the way, showing them the way to the door, I suppose, to the afterlife.
You feel something hot at your belts, and you realize, Yarmos, one of your potions, one of your elixirs of life, glows with this sunlight within it. Seems to be an enhanced potion to heal, to assuage, and as thanks for what you've done here in her light.
Beautiful.
Basically, whenever you use a potion, tell me, and it will heal the person to full health automatically.
Ooh.
That's her minor boon. It's a powerful one.
Oh.
Minor boon, full heal.
I assume it's like a one and done
A
kind of
one
thing.
and done, yeah.
Yeah.
So use it wisely. These boons may not come very often. But yeah, mark in your like inventory so you remember, like sunlight potion,
Yeah.
Saren Ray boon potion, yeah. But as you guys take the time to relax after that harrowing affair, some of you still dealing with that frightening aspect of it. Give yourself 80 experience points for that. So, what are you thinking?
Looks like there's a bit of a ledge back there.
Yeah. And Kiba, as you bring your light, your glaive, back there, out from behind, the shadow is being cast by one of those stone steps. A timid little owlbear cub
Oh no.
sort of squawks hungrily at you. Confused, maybe baring its fangs for a moment, or its beak. Confused and frightened, it is.
Gaz,
This isn't good.
who has that ring?
Don't even think about it.
I'm with Kiba. If we're gonna take this little guy with us, magic should not be involved.
Look at what happened here. A very large part of it is likely because of that ring.
Can owlbears even be tamed?
The bandit sort of tamed one.
We can try.
We should
We
take in
can't
this
just leave it
outcast.
alone. I don't know if we should bring it with us, but at the
I've
very
got a-
least.
I've got a lot
To
of
leave it.
food on me if any one of you wants to
To
try
leave it would
offering.
be the same as killing it.
Kiba,
We
you
have
should,
to take responsibility for it. We're partly the reason why it has no guardians now.
Kiba, you should try to feed it. You're a
I-
bird too, right?
I
I will
hate this
certainly
imagery.
try.
Oh, giraffe. No, I get your imagery, because you said you have imagery feeding.
He's like, oh, because you're a bird too.
I wasn't going that route, but okay.
You said because he's a bird, so that's what I thought.
I set my glaive down entirely,
Mm-hmm.
and just hand me some food, and I'll see what I can do. I'm not the most skilled with animals, but I can't let it just.
Well, Gaz hands over one of his rations.
Okay, I'm gonna try to climb up, put a little bit of distance between us.
Okay. So, roll your diplomacy check, Kiba. A test of your kindness and assuredness for this creature.
Hand symbol. Okay, there we go. Big money, stop.
Well,
Large.
as you hold out some food for it, sort of rears back a little bit, but, well, perhaps you are somewhat akin to what it is already aware of with your shape. It does sort of come up and eat from your palm before, after maybe a few minutes of, coaxing some less fear out of it, It seems at least okay. Tame enough. It's not gonna bite your hand off, at least.
You poor thing. I'm so sorry. Oh. I know it doesn't understand me, but just what that green lady caused all of this just to get at humanity? Unconscionable. I hope this thing is going to be okay. Maybe with a little bit of food. And maybe seeing how kind people can be. Maybe it will at least have a chance to survive.
We can increase those chances by adopting it.
You want to take an owlbear cub back to the town?
Well, the populace doesn't have to know.
It's gonna get big, isn't it?
They're gonna see it eventually.
Eventually, but by then it'll be all tame, right?
Not necessarily.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, shouldn't we?
The only sort of person that would stand a chance at dealing with this would be most likely a druid well skilled with animals, I would think.
Well, we most took care of most of the druids on our lands, didn't we?
Perhaps John will have some knowledge for us as a follower of Aristil.
Perhaps so. So, gathering the owlbear that does seem to be following around Kiba a little bit. That'll be the end of tonight's session. After yet another, what seems to be plot to cause harm to your kingdom has been dealt with. This time, it succeeded. Made you realize that you cannot be everywhere at once. So, well, better hope the kingdom can handle itself for a time. As it grows, it certainly may. With that being said, thank you all for watching on the stream. Glad to get back into it. Should be doing weekly as we go along here. Last week we didn't, run the game because Baldur's Gate 3 just came out and people weren't going to be able to make it, and I had work to do as well on other stuff. So, yeah, we'll do weekly. Planned, at least. Yeah, priorities. But, otherwise, if you guys like the maps, of course, all the maps that you see in this campaign, literally, are made by me. So, any one of them that you like is in my Patreon pack. Half of them are free if they are remakes of Paizo's original work. I have a ton of supplemental maps for all the other locations that you can have encounters for as well in the Stolen Lands. It's all up to level... well, it will be up to level 9 by the end of this weekend, as I finish up that. Otherwise, hope you guys had a good time watching, and Kiba, you stream.
I do. Hello everybody, my name is Chris Kobold, the player of Kiba, and I stream here on Twitch at Chris_Kobold, usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, although Wednesdays are occasionally missed, and I specialize in retro and indie games. Feel free to come by sometime. It'll be fun.
Alright. And unless anybody else has any announcements, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Ice
Bye
Jam.
bye.